it was Batman or something. It was like a
Oh,
control, it was like back controls and like superhero controls underneath or something weird.
yeah.
I can't remember, man. It's
What did
like
I do?
it's in my brain, but it's like kind of like real distant and cloudy.
It almost what's popping in my head is the Batman, like you said, but like not the cartoon. Like remember when Adam West, like the actor, was
Yeah,
doing it? Yeah.
yeah. It was real. It wasn't a cartoon. It wasn't like that. Yeah, it was real life. So
Yeah,
yeah, it was something like that where the whole thing like flipped over and it had a control panel and everything. That'd be badass.
that would be cool,
They make
actually.
desks like that. They're like hideaway desks that you could pop up and then there's
Little
shit there.
rollaway things or whatever. Dude, that's
Yeah.
why the two of my favorite shows were like not well, I never watched the one with Chet Silver Spoons. I was a little young, but like the door opened or something on its own. And then the other one where he would, was it Webster, whatever, he like sneak up the clock and you're like, oh my God, that's the best house.
Yeah, didn't he have like a dumbwaiter and stuff in there too?
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah,
I have a
I
question.
found the house that I was taking pictures of that was selling, and there was a dumbwaiter in there, and the guy's like, "Oh, we're gonna take that out." I'm like, "That's the dumbest thing you could do, man. That thing is like, it's a selling point." That's why I was like, "Leave it."
That's what makes this place cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's it. It adds a that old school vibe to it. It has that like I don't know that it's that's like the character for houses nowadays because every house looks the same that's built nowadays.
I
You know
know.
those old school ones like you get those brownstones and those cool places in the city and stuff, dude. It's the best.
Damn, those things are freaking sweet. Like so expensive though, right around like Wrigleyville. I mean, even back in the day, they were, you
Now
know,
it's even over by uh why can't I think of it? Not Logan Square. Um
north of that. Like, hold on, I'm gonna try to quit.
Bucktown. Like Bucktown is all $1 million places like that now.
Yep. Yep.
The whole place. It's insane. Like you can't touch any of those places for under a mil.
It's not stopping, obviously. I mean, we owned that property right by Wrigley Field,
I
and
remember that.
there was a gas station right on the corner of Southport and Addison. Actually, like nobody, I don't know if anybody could remember it because I barely remember it. And my dad was thinking about buying that too, and he didn't. Whew. Then like that coffee shop went in, that Jules across the street. That would have been a freaking mint. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
the property values, like the Ricketts, how they bought everything around the Wrigley Field was insane. Like I can't imagine how much money they spent. Because when I went over, I had a project where I had to relocate a bunch of shit when they started doing all that work on Wrigley Field. So I went over and I talked with all the Wrigley Field people, like the Ricketts representatives. AT&T was the customer that we were talking with and stuff. So it was this huge meeting. They busted out this map, right? And it was like a map of Wrigley
Oh,
Field. And it was like, and he took like a marker and he's like, we own this, 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 this. I'm just like, holy shit, dude, you guys are playing Monopoly with Wrigley Field, with Wrigleyville. And they're like, yeah, we pretty much have bought all this. We're going to rip all this down. We're going to rip all this
did
down.
you say that?
Huh?
Did you actually say those words in that meeting?
What?
What you just said about you guys are playing Monopoly, or were you just
Yeah,
like,
of
yeah.
course I see that stuff. People love that stuff. They
I
start,
know they totally do, but sometimes
yeah.
people don't say it. And they're like,
Oh,
oh, I know you would, but I just wanted to know.
my bosses sometimes will pull me aside and be like, "Hey, man, you're a little too friendly with these people." I'm like, "No, they love that shit. Trust me. They'll
Yeah.
remember me. They ain't gonna remember you guys."
Yeah. They know who's coming real too, because they know if you're going to say things like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
You're
you're
being
there. You're
open,
engaged.
you're engaged. Yeah. You're thinking it through. You're engaged. That's a good way to put
Yeah.
it, man.
Yeah, you're
Damn.
paying
What a meet.
attention. You want to be there. You're having a good time. You're bringing good energy. And these people weren't like high fiving and shit when they walked in the door. They were like, "I don't want to be here," like
They're
you were
like,
saying on your podcast.
dude, yeah, totally, dude. And the thing is like I think like the baseline for that for like a meeting or whatever is low. It's like as long as it doesn't suck, then it's fucking fine.
It's
You know what
okay.
I mean? Because
Yeah.
meetings they have so many of them.
Well,
But still,
preaching to the choir, baby.
you know.
Like 9 a week. It's insane.
Yeah, I joined committees and stuff though too. Like I'm on the green team and I was on the committee to work on like the flexible schedule, and now that's going to go into effect almost next week. I
That's
start
awesome.
getting Fridays off. Uh,
Huge.
or every other Friday, but I got to make sure I'm putting in the hours, and so some of the meetings I feel like they just take time away from me actually really being productive if I want to be honest about it. But man, that's also the stuff that I love. Like that
Well,
makes me love working there because of those things.
right. So there's those meetings like you said where you're getting something out of it,
Yeah.
and then there's those other meetings where you're kind of just giving answers,
Yeah. Yeah.
and there's a lot of shit you're sitting through, like you said, where you're wasting time, and you're thinking literally in your head, you're like, man, I could be doing something, productive right now. Instead, I'm sitting here listening to somebody talk about some shit that has nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
That's my biggest beef, is that they waste my time, and like
Yeah.
my time is fucking super valuable.
Yeah.
So it's like, hey, let's break this call up. Maybe we could do this in 10 minutes. You hit all my shit. Then I can hang up. And then you can go and question the next person for their 10 sites or whatever. And then they can go on with their day.
Dude, we've been doing that in meetings.
Like,
Yeah.
dude.
You know what? Two things. We've been doing that, like people, and I think it's just because one of the girls I work with is, I don't want to say bitchy, but to get the point across, she's bitchy. She's a little bitchy. And RJ, whatever, if you ever saw this, I love you. And I do, actually. I appreciate her because you know what you're getting with her. You know what I mean? She doesn't hold any punches.
That's why I always say good or bad.
Good,
If
yeah.
somebody says that you need to work on something because you're being condescending or something, that's my favorite one, because somebody said that to me,
Yeah.
and I'm like, yeah, I'll work on it. So then I actually had to hear myself talk, though, and that's one of the beautiful things about this, or like podcasts and stuff, is you can actually hear yourself and how you come across, and the energy you're bringing and all that jazz too, and then you can consciously change it. And kind of like another thing in another episode of the podcast, your podcast that you were saying in the morning, just being aware of that stuff is half the battle, or more, maybe 3/4.
No, that's really true, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what she did is like after, man, you got me thinking about that. After the meeting or after her turn, she's just like, all right, we got to go. And it was so cool because she's got, there's a coordinator for the 2 physician recruiters. There should be 2, but there's only 1. And Sandra was with her, and then RJ just stands up. That's not really her name, but RJ just stands up and grabs the thing and like walks out. And then Sandra just picks up her boom and like follows her. They're just like, doo, doo, doo. And it was the first time anybody ever did it. This was a couple weeks ago. And I was like, and then that set the precedence. Now, when we go to those meetings, when it's after your turn, it's like not a negative move to get up and go back to work.
Yeah.
That's
There's
cool.
No expectation there. Change.
Yeah. It was kind of cool. And however, I think she just said like, look, I'm a professional, here we go. But our new VP was in that meeting, and it could have been taken as a power play or like a, not a respect thing. He could have taken it that way. Luckily he's a kind of a softie. Him and I click on a lot of stuff. It was really cool.
So I'm curious, just open for new ideas and shit.
What's that?
No, you said like your new, was it VP you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, you said that guy was a softie?
Well, I mean, yeah, he's got a good heart. Is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
like he shows it, and I appreciate that.
Exactly.
He needs kind of that.
New ideas. That's all.
Oh man, yeah, he's making some things move. It was just cool. Yeah, it's all you can ask for. But then the second thing is, what if people tested that and just said, like, they'll say it with goals, like, what's your 1-year goal? Okay, now make it and do it in 6 months, right? So just how come meetings have to be an hour? Can we do it in a half hour? It will be efficient. People won't reiterate points 3 times that I tend to do. Maybe others do as well. But
I talk about that. I was saying, I think I texted you maybe that, saying, don't worry about being repetitive, because I'm repetitive all the time. And I think that the key, like I read this somewhere, like scientifically, if you repeat that shit 3 times, like when they do jingles for like commercials and stuff, that's why they say the same thing like 3 times in a row. So to like kind of like force your memory to remember it. That's the best way I can think of it. Yeah. It's like a forced download into your head.
Yeah, it's enough time.
What's that?
It was like, it's like, it gives it at least that enough time that it has, right? They're probably like, it has to be like 7 seconds. So they just, however long, right?
Right, exactly. And then that's like permanently stuck in your head. And then the next time, I'm talking about something, you'll immediately attach it to that last time that you remembered it, and you'll remember that you remembered it. And one of the funniest things that, speaking of memories, one of the funniest things that I heard this week was Rogan was talking about how shitty memories are on his podcast. And I was And I was like, yeah, that's because when you remember something, you actually are remembering the last time that you remembered it.
Oh yeah, yeah. I've heard this somewhere. What did I heard it on that show?
Maybe
I
we
think you
talked
bounced
about
it to me, or maybe we did. Yeah.
it. Yeah,
Damn. Keep
but
going.
that's
Keep going.
why.
This is awesome.
So then that memory is actually the last time before that you remembered it, and it keeps getting fuzzier and fuzzier and fuzzier, as time passes, kind of like
Dude, I
thing.
think maybe you brought that up because that blew my mind. It still does, you know?
Yeah. So think about that, and think about how like people will, claim that they saw like aliens, or they saw Bigfoot, or they saw, something crazy, right?
Hmm.
What they're remembering is the last time they remembered that, and maybe it's not that good. But if somebody was to, if they saw like the same thing 3 nights in a row at the same spot, same kind of occurrence, same creature or whatever, they would actually have a way better vivid memory of that thing and could probably recall way more detail. But it's just that rule of three. I don't know why. They also talk about, you've ever heard of 3 days to beast? You've heard of
I don't
this?
think so. No, no, no.
So 3 days to beast is pretty much this. So like, let's say the power goes out and you can't get water or food for 3 days. After
Okay.
the third day, man will revert back to beast, and you'll start, not worrying about, the society's politenesses, or, anything like that. You're going to be like, my neighbor's got water, I've got guns. let's go,
Let's, yeah.
yeah, what's up, like
Dude,
crazy shit. But it's like a 3 day or a three thing, like a rule of three. I don't
I'm gonna pull that
understand.
up. But what, so where'd you hear the 3-day beast thing from, you think?
That's like one of those conspiracy theory things where like, it's a doomsday prepper thing, end
Yeah.
of the world type of thing, or like zombie apocalypse type of thing. And it was probably maybe like a handful of years ago I heard about this. It was
Yeah.
actually on a show on like Discovery Channel where they were talking about like climate change, and like how, that's going to affect things. And then they kind of did this like, not a reenactment, but like what would happen
Yeah.
if
Like a,
the
yeah.
water rises and stuff like that. And one of the things they started talking about was that 3 day to beast thing, because they were like, if there's no power and you can't get, supplies to the grocery stores, and people start arriving to the grocery stores and nothing's getting reshelved, and if it's the winter up here in Chicago and you don't have power, you don't have heat, that could be a huge factor.
Here
So
comes the migration. Yeah.
yeah, shit gets out of control quick. Yeah, is pretty much my point. But it was a three
That's,
for some reason, threes.
hey, 3 strikes, you're out. What do you know? What do you want me to say? 3 outs.
Baseball. Right.
3 outs. Come on.
Like, for some reason, there's a numerology thing going on right now with the number three thing. Like
For
my
you.
last podcast was top 3 things, and I decided to use that instead of 7. I don't know where I came up with 7.
Well, 7 seems like it would take a while.
There's just a lot more content that you have to figure out and kind
Yeah.
of come up with. I'd rather go deeper on 3 than kind of just tell you 7.
Yeah, I like that. Dude, I
Yeah.
can't wait to hear that. I was thinking about you talking, you said you're shifting your schedule. I didn't get that. So you used to try to post them on Sunday nights, and then that was just cutting into like a Sunday like night for you or for your family. And then you're like, wait, why am I pressuring this? And then
Well, yeah, it was. There was a bunch of factors. So on Sunday nights, at the end of each month, my time allotment for what I can upload. So I have 3 hours per month, for like $10 or something.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So that allotment will reset on the last Sunday at midnight.
Ah, yeah.
And sometimes, like interview, I had to wait because I didn't have enough space in order to post it, and I needed that allotment to reset. And that one was weird. It actually reset on a Tuesday. I don't know why. Maybe there was something up with that one, but
Yeah, freaking leap week.
right. That's one of those deals where it was just like, why I don't have a boss that's telling me I have to do this on Sunday night. Let's just make it convenient, so
Yeah,
I'm not,
no.
what am I doing?
No, well, you were living up to the bond that you made with people that are listening to your show. You created that bond there, and then you wanted to live up to that, and that's totally respectable, right? I mean,
Right.
that's what it was, and you didn't want to break that trust. It was like when you and I missed like podcast calls and how we feel. And the very first time when we were connecting, I could, it was text message. I could feel though, like I knew where you were coming from. You're like, damn, no, I'm really upset that I missed that, and I was like, knew that to my heart, and I was like, man, I feel you. and it's good, but you know, and you knew it was cool, but still it's like that feeling, and that's a good one. That's a good one.
It
It's
was like
bad, but that's a good
pit
feeling.
in your stomach.
Yeah. You know what I mean? That you just don't want, especially to certain people. You know what I mean? Especially to certain people. And you're just like, oh,
Anyone that you respect, anybody
yeah,
that you respect their time, like we talked about,
yeah,
anybody that is a friend, is a family member, is a even a it doesn't an acquaintance. If something happens where you legitimately forgot or something came up and distracted you, you get that pit in your stomach. When it's an excuse and you kind of are navigating out of it, that feeling's not there. And like you
yeah,
said, it's noticeable. Like body language, the
yeah.
poker face thing, all that jazz, the tells. Like I can read a tell from a mile away. And then I
Oh,
immediately know if I need to say anything else to you or not. Like if you're
yeah.
telling me, oh man, I couldn't make it because I had
Okay.
car problems, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no worries.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't need to
Yeah.
hear anything else from you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything else to you. We're good. You
Yeah.
know, I don't need to hear any more excuses. I don't
Yeah.
need to hear bullshit like that.
Yeah. That's a kind of a power move too. It's like taking their power away from an explanation. They want to save face and you're not allowing them to.
Yeah.
It's kind of a move, which I like that game. I've done that to the cop that gave us a ticket on Easter
Sure.
at the stop sign, and I wouldn't let her. She's like, well, you can. I was like, nope, ma'am, it's fine. She's like, you can go up here. And I was like, no, I don't, hey, it is what it is. You know, I just kind of shut her down, even though I was pissed. Like that was a pissed move. Like I was mad, you know? But a lot of times it's a blessing, right? All of a sudden there's an hour that we have and we're like, ooh, here's a free hour. Now, when you're rearranging schedules and planning your life, of course,
Yep.
it's a thing, but sometimes there's a free hour. And a lot of times people, maybe, I don't know, I'm putting myself in this category, that are trying to balance a couple things. Sometimes they actually needed to do it too, but they didn't want to, and it was like just a fortuitous happenstance. You
Yeah,
know,
you don't need that stress. You don't need to question yourself. You don't need to have that in the back of your head. If you need to adjust some shit and you need to change some shit, that's fine. Like I
yeah,
think a lot of people will dig in their heels too when they don't need to dig in their heels, and that's why people suck at the stock market because they
it's
play
an
the stock
ego,
market by
right?
emotion and ego. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
instead of just saying, hey, the stock sucks, the company wasn't the company when I bought it, I'm going to dump this thing,
yeah.
got to do that shit. And the same thing applies, like I've talked about on my podcast, with friends, or people that are not adding value to your life anymore, and thin that herd. And it's necessary, and it's not an asshole thing, it's not an emotional thing, it's just a time thing, it's a mental health thing more than anything. But
That's
it's just one of
interesting.
those deals, man. You just gotta
Yeah,
it's I think that you could keep going. You could apply that to so many different things in your life. And that's what I love about like talking through these types of ideas, because once you start going down that path, you'll be like, oh, this applies to this, and it applies to this, and it
mm-hmm.
applies to this.
Yeah,
So that's how like that's like a magic idea, because it'll apply to anything.
yeah. And like
Family, whatever.
it's typically very simple. It's like simplicity too, I think. Right? I mean, because usually, because it's like those simple songs, it's the one that comes out in like 2 minutes. And you're like, boom, and you're like, damn, that was one of the best ones I've written in a while, and it just brain farted out of me. Those are the best
The one
ones.
that you've been working on for 2 months.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's the one I'm half written for years out of my head. Oh man,
exactly.
that's funny. No, it's always an ego thing. You said something about like reading body language and the excuses. Yeah, Gary Vee or somebody who's recently been talking a lot about like not having any expectations. That's what he'll say, right? I don't have any expectations from anybody, so I never get like heartbroken on it, and it is what it is. And then if you disappoint me, it's fine, because that's kind of on me, right? Managing my expectations.
Yep.
But and I like that, but as long as it doesn't get, I guess, too close to like a full detachment somehow. You know what I mean? Because if you're
Right.
detaching from everything, yeah,
Yeah, for sure. That's why I said too, without being gullible or without being detached, there's a bunch of other sides of that coin that he doesn't really mention or talk about. And I think that that's important to mention, because like with anything in life, it's a balance. Like I said, you don't want to be gullible or detached, but you don't want to over expect. and lay all these control factors and all this stuff on this experience, because then, like you said, you're just setting yourself up for disappointment or something, to go wrong, and then you get fucking pissed, and then you ruin it for everybody.
Yeah.
So yes, check your expectations at the door, but still be smart and and there and present and shit.
Yeah.
I think that's it. The balance.
I think it's a great way, yeah, for relationships too, because if you can love like around some of that stuff, you know what I mean? If you can love around the person changing and just trying to be like, look, I mean, we are who we are, but still within this boundary of the relationship. Not like I am who I am, screw it. But like here, we know what we're getting. And so, but also the freedom to be completely yourself and free to be relaxed and calm enough to just not think that you're being judged by the person on the couch next to you every night. Because
Sure.
we have to allow each other to be like a flawed
Oh, for sure.
and know that we're loved, like for real.
And change is one of those things that you have to embrace, whether it be, your significant other changing because they are, or yourself or your kids or your, whoever, your friends. Everybody's going to change. You have to deal with change. You're going to change. And the only thing that doesn't change in the world is the fact that everything changes. So embrace that shit. And if you realize that yourself, then you'll give some other people some more leeway to, like you said, be flawed, to make those mistakes, because you could then, like relate back to yourself. Well, I fucked this up because I was learning something new, or I didn't know.
Yeah.
Why am I holding this person to a different standard than I'm holding myself?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You just got to put it in perspective.
Dude, you're right. I said that at that talk the other day that I was lucky enough to do.
Yeah, at the hospital?
Yeah, at the hospital. I said, it's funny because I talked about expectations. I said, we have expectations for people and whatever, and we are upset when they don't live up to them. But like you said, but what we don't even live up to our own expectations. So why should somebody else, for one? And then I think, was it you or someone that's bounced me a quote about, like, shit. Yeah, pretty much that exact deal. Right. It's like it's hard enough to change yourself, and you're worried about trying to change, somebody else. Right. Yeah. It's like impossible to change somebody else. You can barely change your own habits. So you're like trying to get somebody to do whatever you want them to do. Maybe have a baby. Maybe you don't want to have a baby and she does. And, that's probably really common. Or even spending large amounts of money as a couple is probably difficult too. You don't want to. It makes you insecure. Somebody wants to buy a truck or a boat. I don't know, or both.
A lot of questions, a lot of fear, a lot of what about me type of thought processes going on.
There is some of that, there is. Yeah. I'm going to turn this.
Poisonous.
What'd you say?
It's poisonous quick unless you speak directly to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
you gotta just call it.
Hold on a second. Yeah. First of all, I would love to take these headphones out, but then I would be listening to you from the computer speakers. Probably not a good idea, huh? How are you doing it right now?
I have the mic and everything, the speakers, mic, everything through the computer.
You're just going right from the computer right at it, dude. That's awesome.
Right here.
Oh, sounds great.
Yeah. See, there's
like, yeah.
Loading something right.
Doing the codes. The Matrix.
Pencil stash video right there. Getting uploaded as we speak.
Dude, I was just at a coffee shop, and the girl at the table over across from me with her back to me was doing that. She was watching video and like coloring. No shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like, all right. Ooh.
There's Rachel's first snowboard.
Oh, that's nice. Quicksilver.
Yeah. We hung those on the wall. Those are trophies, man.
Dude, that's exactly what we want to do too. And they haven't made it inside yet. But mine's still, I think, good. I think, I don't know when I got it. I got it like 12 years ago, 13 years ago, but.
Well, I got a rideable still. That's just my shrine.
That's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if this one might be due to go up on the shrine and time to get a new one, 12 years old. It probably still has a little bounce in it, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Those things are fucking made to I think
what
mine's
is it?
Probably good 5 years old.
Mine's a ride. That's what it is.
Yeah, mine's a never summer.
Never heard about that. That's awesome.
Dude,
Never
so
summer.
badass.
There's totally two different people, right? Never summer people, and what's the endless summer?
Yes, 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 yes. Well, that's a movie. This one's a snowboard company. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Hold on a minute. I'm
Yeah,
gonna turn
wasn't it
these
Endless
top
Summer?
lights off. Oh yeah, it was with Wingnut, which is Pat Curran, I think, and then some other guy. And the original one, they did two of them. The original one, that was like in the '60s, dude. It was
Yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
yeah. Isn't there some famous girl in that too back in the '60s?
Oh, well, I hope so.
I got
Hold on a minute. Let's set the mood.
Endless Summer. Here we go. Huh. Maybe I'm wrong. Why did I think that? Hmm. No, nothing crazy. That's weird. Oh well.
Wanted to go. I want to take these out. Let's see.
Yeah, just try it.
Oh, you know
Experiment.
what? We thinking?
I can't hear. I can't hear any feedback.
That's cool.
Yeah.
All
What
right.
mic is that? Is that the mic that you've always had?
Yeah, Audio Technica.
Yeah. Yeah, it's got a USB and the what the
Yeah,
hell is that connector called?
freaking like a LCR or something. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
CLR. The people are gonna be like, dude.
I didn't sleep that well last night for some reason. Like I couldn't control my body temperature. So like I woke up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and I was like sweating, um, like I couldn't cool down. So I went down in the basement and it that cooled me down a little bit to where I could fall back asleep, but it was messing with me. So then I was trying to figure out, I'm like, what did I do before I went to bed? Or maybe even within the last 8 hours before I went to bed, that would have caused something like this.
Yeah.
And then the only thing I could think of was salt, because during dinner, we ate dinner late. And during dinner, I remember saying to Rachel, I'm like, man, this tastes super, super salty. And she's like, yeah, I might have oversalted on accident. I'm like, yeah, no big deal. I just was pointing it out. And then I remember seeing something about like people having trouble because they ate a bunch of salt late, like midnight snacks or like midnight food run, and it was a super salty thing, and that sodium fucking with you. And there was actually then I looked into it more. So now I go down the rabbit hole. And then they were talking about like how people who die from heart attacks, like at night or in their sleep,
Yeah.
it's usually related to something like sodium the right before they went to bed. And I'm like, dude, that makes fucking total sense.
Wow.
I think that's what it was. So I was like, dude, I got to remember to watch certain intakes, like obviously caffeine, sugar, those types of stimulants that'll keep you up. But even something like your body trying to burn off a bunch of sodium, and it heats itself up, to burn that shit off so you can sweat it out.
Yeah.
And now you can't control your body temperature.
Wow.
And stuff like dog shit.
That's awesome. Dude,
They're SLR
awesome.
cables.
You what?
They're SLR cables.
The SLR cables. Dude, I'm telling you, I've been tracking it, and now I haven't been tracking it like every single night, but
Sure.
I mean, in the last, like, what is it? 40, let me see how many times I got in the last, what'd you say?
On the Pillow app?
Yeah, on the Pillow app that you were talking about, dude. So out of 35 sessions, this is the worst, dude. The 35 sessions, my average time of sleep is 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Stop it.
And 51% quality.
That's really,
it's really bad, dude. It's really bad.
That should be.
Last night, I slept for 5 hours and 49 minutes with 62% quality. It's a good night.
I was just going to say, that sounded like you killed it.
Now, this is like up at least 40 minutes in the last couple of weeks because I've been trying, really, really putting in some effort. Most of the shit I don't try so hard at. And, you know, that's the problem. Problem is I'm too cocky for my own good and it gets in the way, you know?
Hey, amen, dude. That's what I've been trying to. That's all right. So I remember you asked me. You're like, what was the thing that like made you switch, or like that gave you the idea to jump off the cliff and try some of this shit out? I remember you asking me that.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was like, enough. I just kind of just started doing it, or I said something about maybe the drone or something like that.
Oh, it might have been the drone.
Yeah, so I
Yeah.
remember I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what really was it? Being completely honest with myself, what I think that it was way before the drone, back when I worked at Crown Castle, and I had been working at this job for like 7 years, and I thought I was bulletproof. I was narcissistic, and I thought I could do no wrong, and that the corporate policies and company rules and shit didn't apply to me because I was a fucking rock star, right? So then we got a management change. The new management comes in, and it's a lady. She drops the hammer on me, and I start to resist because I'm like, you don't know who the fuck you're talking to.
Oh, I think I'm about to get into this. Keep going.
Right. So I was like, hey, I've been here for 7 years, kicking ass. Don't come in here and start telling me what the fuck I need to do type of attitude, which was totally wrong. You're immediately now just clashing. And it bit me in the ass. And I eventually got in a heated argument with her one day during my review at the end of the year, right before Christmas. And I stood up and I flipped the fuck out because of my narcissism. And I tell her to fuck off. And then I walk out the door. And then the next day, obviously, I get the call from HR, and they're like, "You're fucking fired." And I'm just like, "Why?" And they're like, "What do you mean, why?" And I'm like, and the phone hangs up. And right then and there, you could just feel this fucking weight, just like, boom, just hit you.
It's gravity.
What did I do? Like, what the fuck did I just do? Okay. So you play the victim thing. I'm a victim. She had it out for me. She was
Who does she think?
no matter what. Yeah, right. Yeah, you play this victim mentality, right? You get into this whole thing and you try to spin it in your head.
This is my house.
Yeah, I'm the fucking man. Yeah, all this shit. It's just narcissism, like I said again. So then now I'm jobless for the first time in my life, pretty much, right? And I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And I have no leads, or I have no, I didn't know what the fuck to do. That's the best way to put it. So then I was just like, okay, I need to call people and get a job again. I need to hustle. Oh my God. It's like panic mode. So you get into that panic mode all of a sudden then. And then the stress starts hitting. It affects your family life. It affects your relationships with your friends, and everything starts getting all fucked up. And you become a worse person now because you're stressing about this thing. So it's like a domino effect. After I got back into the working world, like I would say 6 months after I got fired, I got a job again. And that job didn't go well either. And then I started to realize, I'm like, maybe this isn't for me. Maybe something's telling me something else, that I need to look elsewhere. I had a good run doing what I've been doing. Let's try to explore something else, right? So then I had like a fight with Rachel. And I remember us talking, and she had said something to me about being narcissistic and kind of what that entails and what that means and stuff like that. And, we talked about that condescending tone, when I get angry and everything. And I was like, okay, I don't notice any of this. I don't see any of this in me. I'm a great person, and she's like, right. She's like, no, this is the problem. And I'm like, okay, I'll do some soul searching. So I got shit canned from that job too. And now I'm thinking, I'm not bulletproof. I'm a piece of shit. And now I'm starting to get like self-deprecating, like, oh my God, like I'm a loser. This is rock bottom. What the fuck? What did I, holy cow, Then I started to take some accountability. I fucked this up. Maybe I am a narcissist. Maybe I do need to fucking work on some of that shit. That's what started that ball.
Wow. How long ago was that?
2013.
2013?
Yeah.
Awesome. Wow, dude. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. So that's the real answer.
When did you, that's when you realized that in 2013?
Yep, right around when I got shit canned from Crown, it started.
Were
And
you,
then, go ahead.
were you coached or like talked to? Were you, you know what I mean? Like, hey, did anybody say to you, you might be offending some people, or you might be rubbing some people the wrong ways? Is there, you
Fuck
know,
yeah. I told them they're crazy. I'm like, that's a you problem. That was my answer.
that
It was
was
a
what you
you problem.
said? Man,
Yeah.
that was a bad answer, dude.
Yeah, it's a bad answer.
I'm
That's a
so surprised.
narcissist answer.
Dude, that's for real. I think, yeah, to come out of it, were you, cause you were mad at them, or do you really think you were that narcissistic that you said that? Like,
Well,
I
I
don't,
really believed it. I really believe that, hey, I can't control how you receive the message, right?
so what do
So,
you, so to that right now, what do you do? How are you different?
so instead of saying, like, hey, I can't control my message, we talked about this a little bit too. I've learned to almost flex my personality types and shit in order to make things work and to maximize everybody's, communication abilities, enjoyment, work atmosphere, work, production or
So you're adding
productivity.
value to the group.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Instead of being that guy
that's
that's like, you know, swing dick, you be the guy that's helping out. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
That's what true leaders do. They work for their people instead of, cracking the whip and all that shit. So here I got more to the
yeah,
story. So
yeah.
I get fired from this job. Now I'm a piece of shit and I don't know what to do, and I'm starting to get, rock bottomy. And I just remember I'm sitting there, I'm watching TV and I'm not doing anything. I don't know what to do. I wasn't working out. I was actually the heaviest I had ever been in my life, like maybe like 240. And I was miserable.
Yeah.
What? Go ahead.
That's pretty good. How tall are you? 240. That's a good one.
6'2".
Yeah. Yeah.
It wasn't bad, but it
Yeah.
was just
But still,
noticeable.
that's good. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure. I was 235 at my biggest, and I know how big. Looking at those pictures now, I'm like, oh my God. Hickman
Yeah.
was even like, I had my shirt off on the boat one time. He's like, Pilka, what are you doing?
Or what aren't you doing?
Oh, shit. God bless Jenny for being with me at that time. Shit.
Change, like you were saying before, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sitting there, I'm watching ESPN, right? And
Yeah.
I had ESPN2 on for some reason. It's like 2 a.m, right? It's like one of the infomercial, periods of your life where
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't sleep because you're stressed out of your mind. And then I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden the shit pops up on the screen, right? And it was Spartan racing, right? And Sal Masekela, you know who that is?
No, I don't
So
think
he's the
so.
guy that does all the X Games announcing. Like back in the day, he used to do it.
If I
And
see space, I'll know. Yeah.
he's got a lot of energy, and he's got like a lot of like a really cool like vibe and like feeling and emotion to his voice and stuff.
Yeah.
And they start doing these bits about people that are broken, like me, and they're lost, like me, and they don't know what to do, like me. And they're like, I'm getting the fucking chills.
I love it. I love it.
So it was like they were preaching directly to me through the screen. They're like, you need to sign up for something, because when you sign up, you make a commitment, and then when you have that thing on the schedule, you will work towards that thing. So if it's a Spartan race, you don't want to go to that Spartan race out of shape and not ready. You're going to want to prepare, because you see what you have to do, you see what these people go through. So now sign up and go get fucking ready, because that will change your life. Just signing up, just that sign up process. And I'm like, I'm signing up. And I did. Then I started working out. Then my attitude started changing. I could sleep again. Then I started to get a little bit more, into the other Spartan races. Then they started to talk about mental health. They started to talk about physical preparation. They started to talk about diet. They started to talk about all these factors that make these Spartan athletes the best athletes on the planet, better than any other sport. And they started to break it all down. So then I started to follow the guys that were, and the gals that were the best in the sport. And then I started to get some tutoring from them, some mentoring from them, some guidance and some direction, just places to go look for rabbit holes.
Oh, really?
And that started the snowballing. Then I
Wait,
get to
who were you getting that information from?
okay, so like one of my favorite guys of all time is named Ben Greenfield. He's been on a ton of podcasts.
Yeah.
You know that guy, right?
I
Sounds
feel like I
familiar?
know the name. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, so he's like a guru of everything. This guy's got like infrared light on his balls to see if it increases his like sperm count. Like he'll
Hold on.
I,
Here's that. This is Sal right here, right?
that's Sal. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
my man.
Who's the guy with the glow in the dark balls?
Ben Greenfield. Put Ben Greenfield ball set ball Ben Greenfield balls. Put that.
Don't tell me how to search, boy.
Right. It's right there. It's the first one.
Distinct.
Try your balls with red light.
Try your balls with red light. He's like,
Right.
and he's on obviously talking on the phone at the same time.
That's his workstation. Look behind him.
That's his workstation.
I'm dead serious. This guy's a genius, though, dude. I mean, a fucking
How
genius.
red light can help your blue balls with Ben Greenfield. That's
He was trying to like overcome like
freaking polio
erectile dysfunction and shit like that. Just go to his webpage. It's Ben Greenfield Fitness or something.
Dude, that's really awesome.
Yeah. There it is.
Photobiomodulation 101.
Dude, listen.
Shining laser lights on your balls and beyond. Photobiomodulation 101. How to use near infrared and red light for collagen, thyroid, muscle, and skin, and more. That's hilarious, dude.
It's like the fountain of youth is what he's trying to find in this one. And I mean, this dude's a genius. He's on Rogan all the time. Go listen to one of his podcasts, dude. He'll blow your mind.
I didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know that's what he talked about. I've seen his name on there when you're scrolling through. Man, Rogan's got so many damn shows. I love them all. And then it's like hard to even pick. And then you start scrolling. You're like, well, and then one of them clicks, like one title clicks. You're like, find that one,
Yeah, you just literally have to kind of like pick and choose your favorite people. And now I kind of know, like who some of my favorite people are. And every once in a while I'll get, Kyle Kingsbury. That's another dude. He's from On It. He's like the VP at On It. Go back up.
Where?
Right there. Kyle Kingsbury, right there. That dude is from On It. He's like one of the main men. He's another guy that I looked into big time. Obviously, Aubrey Marcus from On It. He was a huge guide for me because he was super real, super cool, super calm. And I wanted to emulate that. Like, I didn't want to have that narcissistic, condescending, I'm the shit, thing anymore. I wanted to be Aubrey Marcus, laid back, go with the flow, kick ass in the weight room, super successful with business, be, mentally fucking on a mission for, like just clarity and, focus and all that stuff. I mean, like that was my idol, was Aubrey Marcus.
Dude, that's interesting. That's really, Tony, where I'm at right now. Like, that's what I'm searching for. See, in my life, I've been trying to get better. And so I wasn't like, I've just been picking different things to focus on really at the time. Huh?
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah. And so, but for first it was like, not drinking anymore. And then it became, well, then I'm going to lose weight. But in the middle of that, trying to lose weight thing, I had, this whole colon issue and dealing with that. And so I didn't
really. How important was that shit? I mean, like just right there and then. You wouldn't have even uncovered some of that shit unless you decided to go down a path of,
Maybe. That's true. Maybe. And then, you think about after the facts, like, this is interesting. So getting to the point that it was going to get to, maybe regardless, right? So it would have got to but stopping what I did, like stopping drinking 5.5 or so years ago, right? So I only had the surgery a year ago. And so maybe doing that ahead of time really helped me get through a lot of that stuff. And
1,000%,
right?
1,000,000%,
right. And so and so looking back on that, sometimes I don't even think about that. That's the first time I ever vocalized it. Right now, actually, that's Beautiful. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
I never thought of it. I don't know where that was going, but
the beauty of podcasting, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it was a lot of fun, but yeah, I don't know those decisions back then. Sorry, I'm thinking about that, man, and it just
we were talking about Greenfield. We were talking about
that's right.
Yeah, idols and stuff like that, and you were searching for direction. You were doing a bunch of different things,
totally. And then it came health, and then it came fighting through this thing, and now like dealing with that, and then Jenny coming here. We're going to law school and getting through that. And then now it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm comfortable and I could take on, I need to take on like the lifting. I've talked about it multiple times, but I still back away. I'm still doing like minute, lifting daily. Right.
Just
but
stop and get the kettlebells. Just stop fucking
it's sitting right there, dude. It's sitting right next to the bench. It's sitting there.
surrender. I'll send you the workouts.
All right. That's the thing. I haven't even written. So now I'll pop out there. I'll do like a squat and I'll do like some squats and like some bench. And then like, that's it. And because I'm not committing to it and I'm just half-assed, I don't even have a plan. I need to have a plan.
Yeah, baby. I'm gonna give you 6 workouts, kettlebell workouts, but they're everything. It's not just you swinging a kettlebell around like this.
Yeah.
You're doing squats, you're doing kicks, you're doing abs, you're doing everything. But you're just using the kettlebell as as resistance and weight.
For
So
sure.
it does everything for you. And here's what you do: you go into your little workout room. Each one of them is 6 or 7 minutes. That's it. So what you do is you grab this kettlebell, or you go into your little workout area, right? Carve out a half an hour. That's all you need.
All right.
And I want you, before you go in there, just go walk around your neighborhood real quick. Just walk. Go outside and walk around. Because if you do that first, that's the key to everything. Because most people will stretch first. I want you to walk around, then stretch for 2 minutes, and then do 2 of those workouts. So do 1 in 5 or 2 and 6 or whatever you want to do. Just pick 2 of them. You'll know better which ones go together and which ones you like and which ones pair better with you after you do it for a while. So you have literally 12 minutes getting ready, 15 minutes of working out, 3 minutes of changing your clothes because you're going to be sweating your balls off and you're going to have to change. So, and then you're done. Half an hour.
All right. I'm in, dude. I'm in. This is great.
I'll send everything to you.
I was thinking about that today. I'm like, why do I have to have like this one thing, my handheld somehow to get into it, where most of the stuff I jump in and I'm just, because I'm lazy.
You got to get excited about it.
Yeah,
you got to get pumped, and it's almost like a mindset flip too. So like people that are, that have trouble starting, right. Yeah. Or, that want to do something. Let's say it's even like, I want to go talk to that cute girl. Right.
Yeah.
You could sit there and say, "Man, what am I going to say? What's my line? Oh man, does my shirt look okay? Is there shit on my teeth?" You could do all that, or you could just do this. And this is what works for me. I don't have to use this for cute girls. They come to me just off, for the record. I'm just kidding. But
for the record, we know.
What you do is this. So like, let's say, I'll give you a better example of one that I had to do this for. I'm at this spa. And they have the sauna, the steam room, the hot tub, the pool, and the cold immersion tank. Have you ever heard of that?
Yep.
Which is like ridiculous. So if it was any colder, it would be ice. So
I've never been in that cold of one.
Yeah, dude. I put my toe in there. I was like, whoa, no fucking way. I'm like, no. And then, so the guy was like, hey, no. He's like, you don't understand. He's like, these cold shock proteins are blah, blah, blah. And I didn't know really too much at the time, but now I know what he's talking about. And I was like, oh shit, dude, I wish I had a fucking cold immersion pool in my house,
Yeah.
But I literally was like, here's my trick. Back to my story. So here's the trick. So I was like, what am I supposed to do in this situation? Use the trick. So I stand at the edge. You don't think about anything else except for this. You go 3, 2, 1, go. And just go. Don't think about anything else. Just 3, 2, 1, go. So like if you're sitting there tomorrow, it's 4:00 in the afternoon, and you look over and you're like, there's that kettlebell on that bench. But I don't feel like working out right now. 3, 2, 1, go. Just get up and
Yeah.
Literally count it down like a rocket ship. 3, 2, 1, go.
Yeah. 5-second rule too.
Yeah, you got to do 5, 4, 3, 2.
No,
1.
I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, totally. You're right. That's interesting. How did you said you were like acquaintances? You're tied to Aubrey somehow.
Oh yeah. So because
you're friends with this guy.
So because I
don't want to put words in your mouth.
So you're spot on though, because I was an early adopter to like some of the stuff that he was trying to do and some of the stuff that he was preaching. He like us respected that, and he was like, if there's anything that I can do to reach out to anybody, to help anybody out, blah blah blah. Since you guys were early adopters, I'm going to give you a direct line to me. So he gave me like a direct line to him.
Wow.
He set up a special group in Facebook that only like 20 of us are in.
Wow.
And he'll pop in like this, and we'll do these with Aubrey Marcus.
Still?
Yeah. And he'll be like, hey,
wow.
We got a new product coming out. Here's what it is. I'm going to send you guys a couple of them. Let me know what you think. Here's what it's for. Here's some of that stuff. If you're gonna buy it, this is how cool he is. If you're gonna buy anything at the store, wait 2 more days because we're gonna put out a huge sale. Everything 40% off. He'll give us little inside tips like that and shit. But then he'll be like, "Hey, I just got back from Peru and we did an ayahuasca trip, and here's kind of the story that I'm gonna tell on my podcast and everything. So, but I want to give it to you guys first, and I want to hear what you guys think and stuff like that." And he'll tell these crazy fucking stories of his adventures, and I'm just jealous as fuck. So, but like I said, he'll give you one-on-one time too, which is super fucking awesome. And he'll just give you little tidbits and stuff, just stuff to like keep you going. You know what I mean?
What's his background? Like,
you want to? This is gonna blow your mind. You really want to know this?
Yeah, I can't wait. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm about to go down a rabbit hole on this guy when we get off here. Honestly,
listen, this is gonna be one of the funniest things of all time that you're gonna hear.
I can't wait.
All right, I'm gonna go a little further back first. His parents are like pharmacists, so they were into like the strict, drugs.
Yeah, yeah.
And because of his upbringing with these parents that were about like pharmacy type drugs, the last thing in the world he wanted to do was get involved in some sort of supplement company that wasn't all natural and everything fucking pure as could be, because he's seen the dark side. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he didn't really want to lean on his parents for money or for like, an in or anything like that. He wanted to make his own way. And him and his friends were big into like, to be perfectly blunt, porn. And what they ended up doing was they got into the porn industry a little bit. And they're the guys, Aubrey is the inventor of the fleshlight. You know what that is?
No way. Yeah, I do.
Yeah, dude.
Unbelievable.
Oh, what? Oh, you can hear? I'm talking about the fleshlight.
It's very fascinating.
Rachel's pissed because I was yelling.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'll be more quiet. I can put up the sound curtains too. Right when I start talking about the fleshlight, she walks in with some dude online. How bad did that look?
She waited. She's like, "All right, now I'll go." Dude, that's awesome. Yeah,
that's where he made his cash.
Unbelievable. So he made that thing, and who knows what else?
So he sold it, and then he took that money, and then he got with Joe Rogan, and he parlayed that money with Joe Rogan as one of the backers and one of the early. Well, he's a partner, and they opened up on it, and that was his real dream. But he was able to figure a way, to make it happen, even if it was something weird like the fucking fleshlight.
Dude, I'm telling you, I think people will not put those things out because, hey, everybody has like standards or whatever you want to call it. But right. I think, there's a ton of money in porn, and I bet more people would do it if they not actually do porn, but, invest in it or whatever. I don't know. Maybe they do.
Yeah. When I went to school, I think I talked about this in one of the podcasts. When I went to school, the first day in like my website design class, that's not what it was called. That's why I did the air quotes.
Yeah.
Website design or something. The guy was like, "Hey, just wanted to throw this out there really quick, just so that everybody realizes that 80% of the internet is porn. The only reason we have the internet is because of porn. Porn drives everything. It's the most lucrative fucking thing there is." Blah, blah, blah. I said, "All right, I just wanted to let everybody understand that the only reason we're here today is because of porn." So moving on,
Yeah, I think that's like verbatim too. Like, boom. Damn,
yeah, everybody in the class was floored. They're all like, did he just say what I think he just said? Yeah. Dude. And then you look stats up like that and you're like, no, that's as true as could be.
So this guy he wanted to start this supplement line company, whatever. Like that was the thing, because he wanted to get away from, typical pharmaceutical type stuff, right? And do something more natural. I mean, now how long ago? That was like what, back in 2000? That was close to when you were coming alive, or whatever we want to say. Mm-hmm. Picking up velocity, as Tony would say, picking up some velocity.
Yeah, trying to figure out where I wanted to go, and he was kind of on the same path, but he was a couple steps ahead, like you always talk about.
Amazing. Damn, that's so cool that you're like connected to him like that. My buddy Reed sent me a podcast. Well, it was just the other day. He had Gary Vee on. That was a really good show. actually.
it was, yeah, that interview with Gary Vee was amazing. And
Yeah.
I actually love Gary Vee so much too. We talk about him all the time too, but I like what he does that you kind of talk about, where he'll do one podcast and then be able to take 20 bits of content out of that one podcast and use them across all his platforms and stuff.
Yeah,
Dude,
he's
he's a
cool.
genius with that. I love
That's
that.
smart. Dude, that's time consuming, but that's like,
Oh,
if you can automate that somehow, everybody wants that, right? But it's
yeah,
really time consuming.
yeah. But I think you were kind of looking into that, and that was a super, super cool idea. And I think
Yeah.
that's definitely something I'm going to try to explore a little bit myself too. Even if you could just cut like from my podcast, if I could cut 3 quotes and make like little memes, like, like Rob Dial does or whatever, and just
Yeah.
have those quotes that are, some just really good nuggets from some of my podcasts, and just post those every once in a while, in between episodes or something.
Dude, I'm telling you, like, I was doing it for a little while, but then I had somebody helping me, and that was nice because but I also felt like there was a little bit of a detachment. Like whatever she was putting out was stuff I approved, but also just, it didn't have, like, I don't know, my like taste to it. And maybe at some point you have to let some of that go, but maybe not now. Dude, I got to show you this. Hold on a minute. Watch this, dude. You got to go.
No. I just hear like fans going, but I think it's the computers.
Let me try this again. So, what do I want to do? I want the screen, I think.
I thought when you did that the first time, I thought you were trying to do some creative like front lighting.
Oh, I want to show you this logo that we got. So I'm putting together that no drinking program. Can you see my screen, or what can you see right now?
It says Zoom.
Oh, you can see Zoom. Okay, hold on a minute. Shit, dude. Anyway. Oh, here we go. I'll get it back. I got this logo. So my buddy and I don't know if I ever told you or not, but about coming up with this program, I guess, to help people stop drinking. Right?
Was it this? Hang on, I think you sent me something.
Did I text it to you?
You might have. I'm looking real quick.
I'll just stop the share and I'll go do it again.
We start going crazy after you start texting. Oh, there.
Dude, hold on a minute. Hold on, let me move my damn thing. No, well, yeah, that's part of it. Watch the new one, dude. You're going to love this. Watch this. See it now?
Yep.
All right, let me move this guy. Let me move your head out the way.
Where did you get this?
Booyah.
Well, I love that. I love that logo too. So definitely keep that. I love the full video intro. That's unbelievably kick-ass.
Isn't that tight?
Yeah.
I wanted it to splat though. I wanted it to go and then be the logo right there. But
no, I like what you did. That was perfect.
So that's Fiverr for you right there, man.
Oh no, exactly. That's why I use them too. I got my intro from YouTube shit there. So did Rachel. So did Kat. Yeah, I love it.
$60.
Dude, you could make that would have probably cost you $1,000 or something if you would have tried to outsource it.
Right.
But I like that you could use that as like for video content as a front and back bumper.
Yeah.
You could use the logo itself as the logo, t-shirts, hats, whatever. What you should do, dude, like this is what I want to do with Travel Photography Life. The little symbol for like to find yourself on a GPS map. It looks like a little.
Oh yeah.
An ice cream cone.
Yeah.
I want to do that. I think I was telling you a little bit about this. I want to make a sticker of that and then hand those out to all my listeners. And then I want them to post with that sticker whenever they go on adventures or whenever they do something, inspired by the podcast. And I think that you could do the same thing. Just make stickers of your logo, send them out to people when they sign up for your course right on the jump, or when they accept your challenge or whatever, or reach out to you. Send them those little stickers. They cost like $50 for 500 or something, and then have them post something social media wise, hashtag no booze 90 or whatever it is, and then have them take that picture, hashtag it, roll it all up into one.
Yeah. That's awesome, dude. I love the little pin thing. It's like, do you mean the little? What'd you say?
And then they end up pimping your stuff for you.
Yeah. No, for sure. The little one, it's like the little circle but before you hit it, it's like
Yeah.
the arrow, right? And then it turns into like the little circle inside with the compass needles. That's kind of
Yeah.
cool, man.
Yes, that's the little symbol that I want to use. I think I actually have a picture of it because I was trying to see if I could get whoa.
Have you gone down any holes on augmented reality?
Oh, here it is. Hang on. That's it. I just
Oh,
want to
this
use
one,
that.
this one. Yeah.
See, travel, photography, life.
Ah, baby.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, man. So good. The branding's really good. You know what? That's like the sunset color, right? That's coming through your picture, your cover art.
Yeah. Yeah. I love
Really?
it.
It's tied in perfectly. That's awesome.
Perfect. Yeah. So I mean, I got lucky because I have help with some of these geniuses here too.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, you got in-house doing that? That's
yeah,
nice.
that was Rachel and Kat.
That's great work.
What did you just ask me though? What were you just saying?
I was asking you if you went down any holes on like augmented reality.
Yeah, I love augmented reality. I love virtual reality, like I was saying.
So what's augmented mean?
Well,
Because I don't understand the difference.
Yeah, so this is really cool. And you can actually get this. I have to figure out, I don't remember the name of the app off the top of my head, but I'll look it up and let you know. But what you could do is you could take this app, and Google makes it. You could take this app and you turn it on, and then it just shows your screen through your camera. So it just looks like, whatever your camera's seeing. So it looks like this, right?
Oh, yeah.
So it looks like this.
Yeah.
But then if I put it up to something, like let's say I'm in Japan and I don't know what this restaurant is, I can just literally hold my phone up to it and it'll translate the restaurant right there in real time. And it looks like it's actually the restaurant sign.
Holy shit, really?
Yeah, so it's the real restaurant sign, but in English instead of Japanese.
I almost had a heart attack. That's insane.
Yeah. So pretty much
you could walk around with glasses on like that.
That was what Google Glass was trying to accomplish, but
but that wasn't what the functionality I heard. It kind of was, but it was more heads-up display than living inside it, I feel like.
Yep. And I think that now they're pushing more towards what I was just saying. Like I have my Star Walk app. My Star Walk app is total.
I have that because of you. I love that. Yeah.
So they have augmented reality in there where you can hit the. It looks like I think it looks like an aperture, and then what it does is it uses your camera, and then it says to line up to a constellation that's familiar, and then it'll show your horizon line and everything.
Every time, it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, and it's straight. That's straight augmented reality.
Was it a teacup?
No, like something sounded like it snapped and broke in this drawer next to me. That's what I'm telling you, my house has got to be haunted because I hear the most crazy noises in this place. One of the shittiest times of my life is when I didn't have a dog and I'd have to sit here by myself when Rachel would go out of town. I would freak myself out, dude. I'd lose my own mind. It was nuts. But once I got a dog, I was fine.
Really?
Yeah.
That's interesting, man. I guess I kind of like dogs. I mean, I had one as a kid, but I probably, teased the shit out of it because I think we hated each other truly. And then I got one with Jenny and it was a great dog. Wheaton, soft-coated Wheaton. And then when we moved, we gave it to like a Wheaton rescue. And it was, Jenny's a huge dog person, man. This was a big deal. It was hard for her, but we knew it was the right move, coming here, third floor, brand new baby. Yeah, it was the right move.
Yeah, it's tough. You're right.
But I could see myself getting another one and enjoying that. It's difficult here, man. It's so friggin' hot. Like you can't even let the dogs outside. Like a lot of times, and
got to walk them early or late.
Like people have boots on them for real. If I saw a guy walking a dog down the sidewalk one time, and I had just moved here like a year, and somebody drove down the street and like pulled over and was like, "Hey, get those dogs inside now!" And I'm like, "Man, what the hell?" And I was like, "Oh God, it's 110 out, middle of the day. They should not know. Those dogs should not be walking on the sidewalk."
No. And just
I don't even think about that stuff.
Well, a lot of people don't think about that shit, and they still have dogs, and it's like they're torturing the shit out of these things. But yeah, this guy's my best friend. And he's like my my security force. Dogs will pick up on shit that's extra sensory.
Yeah.
If he all of a sudden he looks over there like, what the hell?
You're already grabbing something. You're like, what?
Yeah, and I'll look over there like, what the hell are you looking at? And what do you see, boy? And he'll be like, you know, like looking at something, like something's right there. You know, like
Yeah.
he would look at me if I was, you know, talking to him, you know, weird or something. And then all of a sudden I'll hear something shift or crack, or I'll hear like footsteps or something in the direction he's looking, and I'll lose my mind, dude. Lose my mind.
Dude, that's interesting, man. I wonder sometimes when we're all alone, like a tree falls in the forest. Like last night, I swore I heard somebody come in the door, the front door. Jenny wasn't home; it was me and Payne, and like walk in. And I was called her, and she was at the coffee shop. I was like, "Whoa!" And you know, our walls actually touch up to the neighbor, but these things are like little fortresses. But it had to have been her, I suppose, and. So could that truly have happened, or could I have been paranoid and maybe heard that? Because think about when, like, and I don't know if this is unrelated, but like the tree falls in the forest thing, but also so many times, like you'll feel your phone vibrate in your pocket and it didn't, like the phantom phone vibration
All the time.
all the time. So can it happen auditorily or whatever,
Sure.
you know, like,
100%.
right?
Yeah.
It's like, it's like almost like I don't know, like a muscle spasm or something, maybe. I don't know.
It's the same thing where like your mind is playing tricks on you constantly.
Yeah,
like
that's interesting.
Your mind likes to add details and stuff to the unknown just because it doesn't like unknown.
Oh, it's trying to understand it, and so it's like, oh, must be a robber because I know what a robber is.
Right.
You know what
exactly. Or you know, like it'll put names and faces on stuff that shouldn't necessarily even need a name or face. Maybe it was just your house settling. Maybe it was the pipes heating up because it's cold.
Maybe it was a
And your
ghost.
heat just kicked on, or maybe it is something. You know,
I've thought that, dude. There's a ton of noises in this joint, and so
why don't you sweep that shit and see what's up?
well, what? Some sage?
No, man.
Sage it out.
I'm gonna bust it out right now,
You're
bro.
gonna send me 1.21 gigawatts when they find Slimer or whatever. Don't cross the streams. Oh my gosh. We getting readings here?
Let's see. There's the spectral communicator.
Dude.
Backwards. Like you said. Whoa, tough. It just said tough. The spirit in here. Oh, there's a spirit right in front of me. No. It's right by the door. Oh, I got chills, bro. It's right by the door.
What does tough mean?
I don't know. Should I ask it?
Yeah.
What do you mean by tough? Wow. Dude, look at this. Oh my God, I got chills. When I take this.
Don't cross the streams.
It just said pleasant. It just changed to pleasant. No joke. Pleasant.
It's pleasant now.
When I walk over, no joke.
He likes you.
I'm gonna baseline this right now. I'm gonna baseline this.
We're doing a ghost hunt.
Yeah, I'm gonna baseline this right
Baseline
now.
it.
Oh, dude, it's going fucking crazy, dude. I can't even baseline it because it's going crazy. But there's a spirit right by the door. You can see the little blue.
How do you know by the door? Well,
it shows you where. All right, hang on.
You just took a picture?
Yep, it said ghost photo.
Ghost
Look at that, dude. Right at the top, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Look at that. You can see it. You can see
Holy
the
shit, Tony. What the is going on over there?
No joke, dude. No joke. Look. Oh, it just said
important.
Fun and important.
This is an important discovery. Unbelievable.
And if I take it and I take the phone and I bring it over to where it says you can see this number?
Yeah.
That's the electromagnetic field. So you can see, like, when I take it over there, this thing goes through the roof.
Hold on a minute. So, yeah. What? What are we doing right now? That's crazy.
Can you tell me who I am talking to?
You're talking to this person?
Spirit, can you tell me who I'm talking to? It just got super strong, and they're multiplying. See on the radar?
Oh my gosh!
There's one sitting right in front of me.
Right. Oh my gosh!
Right on top of me.
That you're 7. Oh yeah, he's right there.
It said rig. It just said rig.
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 Dude, this thing's nuts. I can't believe this is happening.
Oh, holy shit, dude. Holy shit, I just got the chills because there's a fucking camera rig right where this thing is sitting. Right where this thing is sitting is where the camera rig is for Rachel's page, dude. Right dude, and it says those. It just said those. Those teeny tiny. Small. That's why it's sitting. It says those teeny tiny, dude. Teeny fucking tiny.
This is crazy. You're hilarious.
I'm telling you, you bust this out in your house. Tell me what happens.
I'm scared. I'm all the way over here and I'm scared to do it at this house. There's probably people all up in here.
I got chills bad right there.
Oh my
Bad,
God.
bad.
Seriously. That's nuts. What's that thing called? If I show my wife that, she's going to like think it's the coolest. She would, love to have a party with like a Ouija board. I mean,
Oh, don't
secretly,
even
but
talk.
not, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my no-nos. But
Oh yeah.
I'll never fuck with a Ouija board again. I didn't tell you that story.
No, now I'm so scared.
Are you serious? I never told you this.
No, I doubt it.
All right, dude. I'll tell you one. I'll tell
It does
you
not
one.
sound familiar.
So, all right. So, the guys that were into it were me, Ryan Mraz, Jimmy Moser, and was it Mike Rossini? Mike Rossini.
I went to grade school with Mike Rossini.
Yes.
Drive
So
him home.
Mike Rossini was the guy that got the Ouija board. Okay. He got it from Florida when he went down to Florida for like spring break or some shit from some chick who was in the occult.
What?
And
Really?
yes, yes. And so he brings this thing back, right? And we start fucking using this Ouija board. And we start asking it stupid questions and, like the basic stuff like, how did you die? What's your name? Shit like that. Yeah. And are we going to win, football and conference or something like that? You ask it dumb questions. We were in high school or just out of high school. And I think it was like the class behind us was asking it dumb questions at this party where he busted this thing out. But we ended up doing it more often than that. And we ended up getting into it pretty hardcore. So one night we're at Ryan Mraz's house. Okay. And at this point, this thing was full on craziness to the point where we had to take precautions to make sure that nobody was cheating or like manipulating it. So this is what we did.
Yeah. How do you do that?
We would sit two people down, whoever was going to have the Ouija board in their lap, because it can't be on a table. It has to be touching each other's knees. I also went to the library and did a ton of homework on how this thing really works.
I thought you were the one probably leading who was getting the ceremony thing part right?
Me. So I went to the library, found a shit ton of stuff, and figured out exactly what you needed to do to play this game safe.
Okay.
Because we were getting crazy fucking answers and crazy shit was going on, dude. And I did not want to gamble. So we would take the board, we'd sit the people down, and we would spin the board around. And we would blindfold the people on the board so they didn't know which way was up or down on the board. What? Then you would put the planchette on the board, and we'd put their fingers on the board, and then we would start the session. So me and whoever else, or whoever wasn't on the board, the other two guys that were not on the board would record, and we would write stuff down so that we could see what it was spelling. So one night we're at Mraz's house, and did you know Mraz had a sister that died when we were little kids?
Yep.
So Moser, Rossini, and just those two didn't really know. They knew he had a sister, but they didn't know her name. They didn't know anything about her, and they kind of knew that she died, but they didn't know any details. I was there when, I was at his house, like when the news came in that she died, Yeah.
Wow.
It was 4th of July. It was like right now.
How did it happen again?
They were turning left into their grandparents' condominium complex to pick them up to bring them back to the party that we were having. And somebody didn't stop behind them, pushed them into oncoming traffic, and they got T-boned in her, the passenger side is the side that got hit. She was killed instantly. He survived. The dad survived, but he was crushed. Dude was like never the same, obviously,
Yeah,
but
I knew pretty well, but I don't know if I knew that full story actually, unfortunately.
So that type of crazy shit, right? So we're doing this fucking Ouija board, Joel, and the spirit starts getting pissed off at us. And it's like, and I'm the one who's talking to it. Ryan's recording. Mike and Jim have the board on their knees. I'm watching this planchette, dude. No one's touching the planchette. It's just fucking moving all by itself. Their fingers are staying in the exact same spot.
No way, man.
Listen, this thing starts going crazy, and it starts getting angry at me. So I start instigating it, and it starts saying, "You don't know who you're talking to. I'm Z. I'm Z. I'm one." And I'm just like, "What the hell?" And I'm like, "No, I don't give a shit who you are. I'm yelling at it now, and it's full on." And then the thing goes, "I have your sister."
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "I have your sister." And then it spells fucking Kelly, his sister's name. Dude, I look over at Mraz. He starts bawling. He goes, that's it. We're done. We're done. And he fucking knocks the board off their knees. And that's a major no-no. What you have to do is you have to do figure eights to close the loop back up, to tie the fucking door shut. You can't just leave it open. So I grabbed the fucking board. Listen, I grabbed the board and I put the planchette back on it. And I go to do the figure eights myself by my hand.
Yeah.
The fucking planchette shoots off the board, hits the ceiling, comes back down, lands on the fucking on the board, and I was like, holy fucking
Tony,
shit.
what the fuck?
I go, holy fucking shit, what just happened? What just happened? And then I just remember Moser taking off his blindfold and go, close it, close it. So I did the figure eights, blah, blah, blah. Ryan's bawling his fucking eyes out. His mom comes home because we were at his parents' house. His mom comes home. He tells her what's going on. She's like, get that fucking thing out of here, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, okay, I will. I'll give it to these guys tomorrow. Because we left.
Yeah.
Dude, it was crazy. So we leave. So the next day, Ryan's like, well, my mom came home. She's super pissed. She wants it out of here, but I don't want to get rid of it. And we're like, dude, what are you talking about? You don't want to get rid of it? He's like, I was using it by myself last night. And I'm like, oh my fucking God, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Were you guys tripping?
No, we were dead sober, dude. Dude, I got another one.
Keep going. Hold on. So he's using it by himself?
Well, listen. So then he starts getting a little bit crazy, and I'm like, dude, you got to give us the board back. You can't. He's like, I hid it in my closet. But every morning I wake up, it's on my bed. And we're like, what, dude? So yeah, so we took it back from him, right? And listen, so we go over to Jimmy's house and we start doing it at Jimmy's house now instead of Ryan's house because we got banned from there. So we have a scheduled session one night and we're waiting for Moser to come home because he was working. We're like, where the fuck is he? He's late. He's never late, you know?
Mosquito abatement. I don't know what he's doing.
Right. So we're like, let's ask the Ouija board. So we
gosh.
We're like, where's our friend Jim? He's late, blah, blah, blah. And it says crash into bank. And we're like, what? Crash into bank? And he's like, yeah, crashed into bank. And we're like, oh, okay. You know, is he okay? Yes. You know, he's on his way, is what it said. Fucking Moser pulls up in the driveway, gets out. He's like, you're going to never believe this. He's like, some asshole ran me off the fucking road over by Taco Bell. You know, Taco Bell right on BG and fucking Dundee.
I lived there.
The bank right across the street.
Yeah.
Right on the corner?
Yeah, right on the corner.
He got ran off the road. His fucking car went all the way up and hit the fucking bank.
Holy shit.
This fucking Ouija board said it before he even was. There was no cell phones back then, dude.
How the fuck, dude? What did you do after that?
I got another one.
Were you just like, how do we, I mean, oh my God.
He gives me a phone number one time and it says, call my mom and tell her I'm okay.
Oh my gosh.
And the spirit's name was Ben. And I'm like, all right, you know, he's like, but don't get her angry. Don't get her upset. I'm like, oh, okay. But I mean, like, she's not going to believe me, you know? And I'm like, but I'll do it. So I call this number and I'm like, and I didn't know what to say. So I'm like, hey, Ben there. And she fucking hangs up. And I'm like, whoa, you know, I'm like, okay. So I call back and I go, hey, I'm looking for Ben. He told me to call. And I just wanted to see, you know, if this was really a real number.
Yeah.
And she's like, that's impossible. He's dead. And she hangs up again. And I'm like, what? So that just confirmed that the number's legit. That is his mom and everything else. I call back. And I'm like, man.
Tony, holy shit.
On a Ouija board. And this is how I got the number. And he told me to call you and tell you that he's okay. Dude, she starts bawling her eyes out. Bawling her fucking eyes out on the phone, right?
I'm sure.
And she's like, that's impossible, and hangs up. And I'm like, fuck, I got to get on this Ouija board and tell him that we couldn't do it. So we get on the Ouija board, and he's pissed. He's like, I told you not to upset her. I told you not to fucking upset her, blah, blah, blah. And
how long does that shit take? You got to all move your fucking hands around with the little mouse?
I told you, bro. No one's hands are moving. This thing's flying around the board.
No way.
Like
that alone, I wouldn't even hang out in the room if that was happening. Dude, I wouldn't even never be there.
I didn't sleep alone for 3 months. I slept in Jimmy's fucking house on his couch because I couldn't sleep alone, dude. I was so scared.
So what the hell do you guys do? I mean,
this chick shows up out of nowhere. She's like, I need the board back.
She shows up out of nowhere and says, I need the board back?
The fucking board back. And we're like, we don't have it. And she's like, you guys have it. Where's the board? And we're like, all right, we'll give it back to you, blah, blah, blah. So we gave it back to Rossini, and Rossini gave it back to her. And we're like, what did she do with it? He's like, she took it back to Florida.
I mean, I could throw up right now. That's just the craziest story I've ever heard. I don't even know
way
how.
More to it, dude. There's like 15 other sequences that are like crazy.
Dude, you're nuts. And if you're, I just hope, I mean, I know you're not making it up, but that's just insane for somebody to comprehend.
Dude, we got nicknames. They gave us nicknames because they're like, you're getting famous in the underworld. That's what it said to us, right? One of the sessions. And we're like, well, what's our nicknames? And they're like, you're the ghoul, the eater of the dead. They're like, wait. Moser was he the priest? Miraz, Rossini was the vampire. Moser was the priest. I was the ghoul. And what was Miraz? I'm drawing a blank on his. But yeah, dude, it was wild, dude.
I honestly can't believe that shit happened.
I should have brought it up at the party with Moser there.
Oh, damn, dude, you're right.
You could have told some cool stories too that I probably don't remember. One of them was in Latin. One night we're doing it, and we're and Moser's dad comes home, and he's like, "What you guys doing?" We're like, "Oh, we're doing the Ouija board, but it's just all fucking gibberish." He's like, "Let me have a look." And he looks. He's like, "That's Latin. I can translate." And so
what?
Yes, dude. He translates for us.
His dad's in there now?
Well, just look. He blew this thing wide open, and it made sense because back then that was like a super common language.
Well, yeah, my mom would be able to understand a little bit, maybe just from singing in church, but they had to speak it all through school, like for a lot of part.
Yeah, and his dad was
little kids,
Yeah, dude, it was wild.
Or they didn't. I'm sorry, but their teachers, did. And so, yeah, that's great.
Wild,
unbelievable.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, if you ever want to go full ghost hunting, I'm in. I got a spirit by. I
don't want to mess with that stuff. I don't like that. It really scares me.
Check this out. I got something that might blow your mind. I asked
it's too late.
if I could talk to my dad.
Oh shit! You did that?
Yeah. And one of the spirits was like, I don't think that's a wise idea. And I go, why is this? And he says, well, I would have to go get him. And it's a far, far journey, is what it said. I'm like, so what does that mean? And he's like, your dad would be extremely weak if I tried to make him, take this journey. So I don't suggest that you do that out of your own, selfishness. And I was just like, okay, done.
Wow, what an answer.
Yeah. Don't put him through this out of your own selfishness or something like that. And I'm like, done.
That's intense, man.
Yeah, this is fucking intense.
That's intense. How do you
talk to my dead dad?
Yeah. I mean, that thing changed your reality. That whole Ouija board, it's like changing mine, but it changed yours in the like, how the hell? So what about Miraz? What about Jimmy? I mean, like, how do they handle that? Because those guys, live it pretty good and pretty hard now, I think still. I don't know. I've heard stories about, maybe Rhino trying to make it easier on himself or whatever. But I don't know. I saw seeing Jimmy over there, he tried to convince me of one thing the whole time. Well, not the whole time, but for a little bit and whatever. And so I don't know, man, like, how do they deal with that? Cause you are a different person too.
Man, I mean, it's one of those things where you just don't know. Like I always think about that too. I'm like, cause we thought Miraz at one point was almost like getting possessed by something that we were messing with,
Holy shit.
There was signs there because I did my homework,
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Those attachments could be negative energy that stays with you forever. There could be stuff like you said that you're meddling with that you shouldn't be fucking meddling with.
Yeah, I don't think so, man. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was just one of those weird things that, like you said, just adds to that experience of life and puts perspective on shit. And
what's the percentage of the population that has had that happen to them?
Not many.
Like, start a Facebook group of people that have had that happen to them, and like, let's get them talking.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be really cool.
I mean, it was addicting though. It was addicting because it worked too good, and it was too like it was like a movie. It was like a story. It didn't seem real. It was just fucking crazy.
Wow, dude, that's unbelievable.
Uh-huh.
Wonder what that journey was all about.
You never know. That's why I say you just got to be kind of open for you. Back to your expectation point really quick. If
do you remember the journey I'm asking about?
Oh.
Your dad's journey, the
Oh,
long
yeah.
journey. I wonder what the
I was
long journey is.
I didn't understand that too much either, but I think it had to do with something like maybe, um, like this is how I put my mind around it. Like where you die or where you hang out after you die is almost like traveling from LA to New York, but you'd have to do it without an airplane or maybe like Oregon Trail style, It was like one of those deals where there's not
Yeah.
an efficient mode of traveling far places like that.
Yeah.
So it takes a lot out and you don't have that much energy left anyway.
Oh, this is interesting. You're just like, you're still energy, but it's dim, right?
Yes.
You don't hold a lot of mass probably or whatever it is, or yeah, that's really interesting. And so then to travel from, you're right, whoever knows where or where you decided to go,
How this
maybe you
works or
decide to
whatever.
go somewhere or you return somewhere, right?
Right.
You return somewhere,
Where you're supposed to
um,
be. Yep.
where maybe you're supposed to be or something pulls you this way, right? Like a little sea turtle.
Or some
Uh,
kind of crossroads moment that you're stuck in forever on an infinite loop or, something crazy. I don't
I
know.
like that idea. No, that idea though that you said that there's not a lot of energy left. It's just this whatever wisp.
Wispy.
Or-
Yeah.
And
Wispy
then
whisper.
yeah,
Yes.
to go then wherever you need to go, different dimensions or whatever would burn too much off or something. That's a really interesting point.
And almost
But
cripple
could
that
you burn
thought.
it off, right? Because does it ever, right? Does it ever it transfers, but does it ever? I don't know.
Re-manifest in something, physical again. Maybe, that's the reincarnation thing. You never know.
Or like putty, right? Like or like clay. So you
Sure.
go into into a planet or something. I don't know.
Right. Or you could just get
Burned out by the
completely,
sun.
you know, shot off, like you said, you could get shot off this planet, or you could get dropped into the center of the earth. You could get, converted into something else like freaking coal or an
Dude,
animal or,
seriously, what if what if all the energy from this is total stoner thought, but what if all the energy, right, from people dying just being sucked up towards the sun, right? And the sun then burning the energy off to fuel it. Like we're just fueling our own sun.
I mean, you want to hear one of the craziest things that working in the tower industry, you get to go to a lot of places that you wouldn't go for any other reason, right?
Yeah, places we probably aren't allowed to go.
Right. So one of the places that I got to go to was called like I don't remember the actual name, but it was a biosolids facility, and I didn't know what the fuck that meant.
Okay.
So when I get there, I had to go to this check-in house with all the guys and guards and
Shit house. No, I don't know what it is.
yeah, right. So I go to this check-in house and stuff, and the guy's like, "Here, I'll take you over to the site, where you guys are going to be doing your thing, and
Have a hard hat on at this point or what?
no, it's just
No.
like
Soft hat.
before groundbreaking, we're just checking out the spots and stuff.
Okay.
And
All right.
what is this place? Because it was just like gigantic concrete swimming pools that were like 5 football fields long and like 2 football fields wide, and there was like 50 of these.
How deep were they?
Um,
'Cause,
10
I mean,
feet.
is it like water treatment? Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, it almost looked like a water treatment facility, but they were gigantic concrete rectangles.
Rectangles, yeah, that's
Yeah,
different.
and he's like, so this is where all the human poop, comes in from all over the Chicagoland area. And he's like, and what we do is we pump it into these vats, and then we let it dry. And then, well, he's like, we'll add water, pump it into these vats, let it dry, and then it dries out into like this, like almost like dirt, like hard, clay dirt. And he's like, then we come in with bulldozers and we scoop it up and we drop it into these trucks, and that's what they use for fertilizer in the farm fields. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah. He's
No
like,
way.
they name it biosolids, so you don't really know that you're eating human shit.
Can we do that?
I swear to God, dude, my face was like this. I was like,
Like the pee coming out, like from what I remember hearing, like our pee urine will come out, sterile, right? Completely sterile. You could drink
oh
it.
yeah, you
Full
drink
of
it. Yeah.
shit. But, the whole poop thing, I didn't think,
Yeah.
I'm sure, I guess. It sounds like mad cow disease, kind of.
Fertilizer, dude. That's
You know
what
what I
they
mean?
use.
Like eating yourself. It's like mad cow.
It's like Soylent Green. Do you remember that?
Soylent Green. Yeah, I remember the company Soylent, right?
Hang on. Okay, so yeah, here. Hang on.
That's like the protein shake thing, right?
Hang on.
I almost bought that stuff. One of my buddies was trying to live on it. I tried to live on this stuff when they were trying, while you're looking, they were trying to fix my stomach. What is this?
You don't remember this movie, Soylent?
Oh, wait, kind of, actually. I don't think I ever saw it, though.
The movie was about the. It was about people eating like each other and like shit and everything else. Like they just grind up all the bodies and all the shit and everything else and make this like green smoothie with it that you drink, but it's actually like people.
That's ridiculous, dude.
You don't remember this? It's got Charleston Heston in it and stuff.
Charlton
Dude, it's super
Heston?
famous.
No.
Overpopulated, starving New York City of the future. Robert Thorne investigates the murder of executive rations manufacturer Soylent Corporation.
What the
Yeah,
hell?
dude, you got to check that one out. That one's hysterical.
I love going back and watching those movies and then like listening to some of the jokes that they would say, you know, over the time. You're like, wow, people would never say those things now. I mean, you just can't. Like, even if you look at the way like the Rat Pack would, you know, do those late night infomercials when they're roasting each other. Those were way different roasts. Like now, man, they're just like calling people freaking, you know, it's all it is just cussing. So it's like, actually, I don't know what it is. It's bad.
Well, because you can't use like some of the old stereotype type of comedy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
Yeah.
just the way that they roast people is really, when they do that stuff, it's like, damn, man, that's not like roasting. I don't know what it is. It's just
You got to
humility.
have some thick ass skin, or you have to know that it's just, you know, part of the turf, or, you know, it's just, it is what it is. I think that it's a comedy thing. You know, comedians can get away with murder.
No, that's true. But it's exactly what I was thinking about before we were going to talk. When I walked away, used the restroom, I thought, you know, again, why are we, I know it's like a camaraderie thing that we build, but like when we, you know, rip on each other, you know what I mean? It's like, I think our group was huge into that. And it's fun, but it's also like, I don't know. It's like, I guess it's just part of that, the relationships in groups like that or something. I don't know, because I feel like, is it detrimental at some point somehow? All the razzing and like the hazing at some point is so much.
Yeah, that's why they made a big deal out of it, and the, you know, the whole bullying campaign stuff and all that jazz. But I mean, honestly, I think that once you realize that everything that comes out of your mouth like that is you should probably pay super close attention to, because it's a reflection of what you're struggling with. Once you realize that, you start to shut up. But if you don't realize that, you're just going to be a piece of shit forever. But I mean, you got to realize that if I say like, oh, Joel, I hate how you laugh or something, what I'm saying is, I really fucking hate how I laugh. And I'm just kind of saying that to you so that I can hear it out loud. And maybe one day it'll click.
That's interesting. Yeah.
I don't really give a shit about your laugh. What I'm saying is my laugh sucks, and I have a problem with my laugh. It's a terrible example, but you get it.
So yours sucks too. How do you feel? Because it must make you feel bad, because I feel bad.
Joel, or if you know, you should work out more. What I'm saying is, I should work out more. You know, I want to work out more. So I'm verbally saying it. Or I'm trying to get to recruit somebody, or, you know, like there's that type of thing.
Recruit somebody. So that's the next thing I thought about. And then I was like, well, what else do I want to ask him right off the cuff? And then I thought, you know, it's interesting how me working out for, like, I could say like my family and pain and even myself is not, it's somehow it's motivation, but obviously not enough, or I'm not applying that. But if there was somebody that I showed up to every day, like that was like if you and I were meeting every morning,
that accountability factor,
be able to do that, because I would say, look, I'm not letting him down. So why can I do it for somebody else, but I can't do it for myself?
Sign up for a marathon.
That's a great idea, but do you know what I'm saying?
That's all you got to do.
Why
so
is it hard
that's your
for us to do
accountability guy.
For ourselves? Okay.
Instead of having somebody, that was my Spartan point, was sign up for something, like you did with open mics, like you did with, you know, you gave me a bunch of different examples of the exact thing I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's a good point.
The same thing. Just sign up for something that's going
like
to
doing the
force
stuff
you to work out.
That's doing the stuff that I love. That was easy, right? I was showing up for the stuff that I love to do.
You love to work out too, but there's just some reason there's a blockage there right now.
Yeah, there's a fucking blockage.
You got to power through it. Just force yourself by doing something else.
All right. So what do you think? Spartan race, or you said marathon, huh?
Just do like something local, easy, that you can have the wife and the kid go watch you run past, you know, or the finish line or something like that.
Dude,
do like
an idea.
See if they have a 5K or something in your neighborhood, you know, or around town, or at the hospital or something.
Hey, at the hospitals, right? I got something for you here. Let's talk about this. This is right up my wheelhouse. This is what we're talking about. This is what I've been asking kind of people about this, but it hasn't. I don't know. People aren't hearing me, and so maybe I need to do a better job. What are we saying?
You gotta yell at him, grab him. Listen to me,
dude. It already happened. That blows.
What, you grabbed somebody and started yelling at them like that?
No, but you're right. And here it is. You know what? This is being recorded.
Oh, it was an event?
Yeah, so we're going to do it here. It's coming up. It's in November, dude. It's here in Arizona is essentially what I'm getting at. It's November 1st and 2nd. It's Ragnar Trail.
Yeah. You know? What do they do for Ragnar there?
Well, who's this lady? Let's find out. I'm going to share the screen with you. And we're going to take a look.
I was just going to go grab my phone, but that's even better.
Yeah. So
no, Blues 90.
Let's get him out of there. There we go. Can you see this?
Yeah, man.
So register 1 and 2. I don't know what this is. Oh, this is when the last chance, August. So my buddies are doing it. There's 2 different ones. I think you can do one that goes like, there's a 24-hour one, but where you just like run in circles like around a track, and you do like a relay. And then there's, the other one where, you go out.
I like this desert looking one.
And do this. Yeah. And do it where like somebody has to follow you like with a van.
Oh, like a sag wagon.
Yeah. And then you like jump in the van and you run 24 hours. So you have like a couple legs, like you run a day leg, a night leg, and like an afternoon leg or some shit like that.
Sunset leg. Yeah. Let me look into this. This is definitely
guys doing this from work, and I didn't get on the team, but I was wanting already to put my own together. And
4.1 or 4.10 miles.
I'm sorry. There's a easy loop, there's an intermediate loop, and a hard loop, and everybody has each one. So like, right? We'd each have to do it one time, I think is what it if you do like the whole thing. Anyway, you'll probably have to check this off on your own. But
we'll check
anyway, I would say this would be something that I would so get behind and make sure that I, showed up and was like ready to, like you said, you'd start getting in shape for it.
Exactly.
I know you're probably driving you crazy that I'm driving the screen and you want to go see other places and do other things. And I'm just like, whatever. So I know how it is. How much for a team? Oh, okay. Look at these teams, dude. So standard team, full team of 8, literally trails and hanging at Ragnar Village, sleep not included. So 8 people divided by that right there, is that like $150 a person?
It's nothing.
Yeah, that's nothing. You think we could get 8, man? I think we could. And this would be fun because we could like pick our team. We could like put a cast together. I think both girls should be involved, truthfully.
Yeah.
Both our women should be on it. There's 4. We just need 2 more couples, maybe even.
You don't have a 4? All right, wait.
You're looking at it now.
Team? 4 runners take on the whole course.
4 runners take on the whole course. Where's that at, man?
Go back to what you were just looking at. Was it register?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
There. Go to Ultra Team right in the middle. What's that one?
Pretty more challenging. Phil, 4 runners. So get ready for extra mileage, 2 servings. So like,
even less sleep.
Yeah, like tell me what that does. I mean, I want to see like, okay, you're running however many legs of whatever. That's what I want to know.
The whole course.
So if you have 4 people, why doesn't it tell us like how much elevation?
Total distance is 15.4 miles. I can do that.
About a 2,000 elevation. Oh no, like no, that's like 400.
Yeah, no, I did a 5,000 foot elevation run.
No, oh, you did? That's pretty high.
Yeah, it's nuts. Well, 5,000 of incline. So we started at the bottom and the top of the run was 5,000 feet.
So look at this right here. It's the loop description at 6 miles. So this is the red loop, it's 6.5 miles, longest trail, blah, 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 blah. So there's 3 and it's 15 miles, right? So let's just say they're 5 each or whatever. So you have to run a total of 15 miles each person,
What?
right? Because each person has to do the entire course, I think.
Is that what it is?
But we might have to do it twice then if we only have the 4 people. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out like where that goes down. But there's like my buddy that did it said it's a really cool thing. And there's like people that this is what they do. Like they travel around and go to these. Like it's this own little community, you know. Of
Yeah, that's how Spartan is too. Same deal.
How does it work? Why weren't we looking at how does it work? Because I'm just, you know,
learn more.
What is it? Who cares? The Ragnar formula. Just tell me. Challenges. Oh, look, see that you get a patch and whatnot. We're talking trail, right? It's like summer camp for adults. Yeah, we don't want that. Oh, look at this little drone spot.
Whoa, where the hell is that? That looks like the freaking French Alps.
Yeah, exactly. You try to go to that one, and then they're like, well, no, you're not going to that one. All right, one more thing. Here we go. Ragnar relay divisions and classifications.
Open division, 1 or more under 40. Masters, all over 40.
Yeah. Geez, well, the girls aren't, are they?
Mine's not.
Yep, Jenny's not. So mixed, 2 or more.
Yeah. Is there something like that?
Yeah, 2 or more women. This mixed one right here doesn't even have an age graph. This is probably how they award you whatever they want to divvy up.
Yeah, mixed masters. That's what we'll be mixed masters.
Oh, dude, I love that. Anyway, we got to probably look into this, but dude,
I'll dig for sure.
Yeah, I know you will. This is the first time I've even looked at anything other than.
Well, there's all the spots. Look at that.
Yeah, this is cool. What do you got here near you? You got Great Midwest, Michigan, Minnesota.
Michigan, I know, is a big one. They have triathlons in Michigan up there.
9 Mile Forest. See, this one in Wisconsin's probably tight.
That looks crazy cool. That's like a old pine forest. That's badass.
Yeah, that's really cool, man. Let's just see what the freaking aerial shot looks like.
It's in like fall too. Nice. Yeah, buddy.
Dude, it would be fun to make stuff like this. I'm telling you, like I've almost thought about trying to connect with the marketing department at the hospital, and we had a couple communications roles open, but I mean, I would take a pay cut to do it. I don't know. It's a risk that I'm nervous about. I think it's too late now. I think they may have filled it, but I don't know. Yeah, I kind of talked to him the other day about getting into like the what is it called? Innovation and leadership and innovation, you know, where they're like helping coach managers and stuff. And
nice. That's huge. They have a whole division of that shit.
Yeah. Doing like lunch and learns and education stuff. And I love that. You know, I kind of talked to the director of that the other day, and I really didn't straight out ask. Well, I kind of did. I said, hey, I would love to work with you guys at some point. Like told her about the stuff I'm up to. And she sees me too. Like we've talked, and you know, she knows I have a lot on my plate and I like to take a lot of stuff on. She's got a PhD. She knows, like we've talked, and she said it to me, and I respect that. But you know, when I said, hey, about maybe coming over by you, she's like, well, you know, it's really hard. Like what we do is just not, you know, it's not easy. And I thought like, that really wasn't a comment I wanted to hear. Kind of still pissed me off a little bit. Not pissed me off, just upset me. It wasn't what I wanted to hear, I guess. So I don't know if that's her like testing me to see if I'll come back again, or if she's truly trying to brush me off a little bit because I don't know. Both. It's probably a little both, I suppose.
Yeah. I bet she gets asked all the time about that shit too.
She does say that. She's like, a lot of people want to work over here. I think that's what she said, and it's not easy. And so I think that all I can do is show her by actions.
Yeah. Well, did they see the presentation that you gave at the hospital?
No, they didn't. I think they knew about it maybe, but it was a group, you know, it was the Respiratory Therapists like Association or something that was meeting there. And so they really had no reason to be there, but I did record it, and I haven't watched the whole thing yet though. I don't know why.
Dude, I would watch it like 5 times.
Yeah, you're really good at that, man. You listen to your stuff. And when you were talking about that earlier, I thought, I bet you something that I would say probably to my younger self or whatever 5 years from now is that I wish I would have listened to myself sooner, listened to my own work and critiqued my own work sooner, because I think I'm probably missing out on improving faster, just by the quality that I'm putting out and even my technique.
Hell
Uh,
yeah.
so
You
that's
got to hear yourself. You got to, like, if you're an artist, even if you paint, let's say if you, or a photography, right?
yeah.
One of the things that I learned really early with art in general, say I'll just use this. This is Dakota's little coloring book when she sits in here with Rach colors, right? So if I hand draw this, let's say, right?
Yeah.
And I'm in the middle, and let's say this girl's not in here yet. And I'm like, I don't know if I like this. I don't know if it's on the path that I want it to be. What I'll do is I'll turn it and I'll look at it like this.
Huh.
And I'll be like, oh, does it still hold, some cohesion? Is there still something there? Then I'll do it like this. And then I'll see it. And if it looks good, I'll be like, oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't even notice that it sticks out like this. So I just picked up that it has that little triangle right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
See it when it was like this.
Yeah. Cause we're focused here and yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Interesting.
now that this girl's upside down, and I'm looking at shapes now instead of the actual thing.
Picture.
So
Wow.
it takes your mind away from, the details, and it brings it back to like simplistic stuff, like you were saying.
How do you do that to your life then? How do you do that to something in your life, not your entire life at once, but
Great question. And that's, yeah, you gotta, it's that perspective thing. You gotta kind of almost look at yourself in third person sometimes. You almost have
video.
to.
It's got to be video. It's got to be video. And you know what? You have to do
Video, audio.
You want to
just
talk
like
to
you're saying.
yourself in your video and then look at yourself. You don't have to do anything for anybody. You don't have to put it online, right?
Right.
And put that out there. I think that would help. I was thinking about here's an idea, a vision board. People use vision boards.
You were telling me about it. Mm-hmm.
But doing it where then it's the video. So I wake up in the morning and I see myself telling myself my mission statement, or my what do they call it? Affirmations. Yeah. Telling me my affirmations in the morning. How does that resonate? I wonder, when we see ourselves telling ourselves, processing it, and then even maybe saying it, like,
oh yeah,
that's really interesting. I should do that. I should put my money
more
where my mouth is.
accountability there too.
I'm going to do that.
Because then you do have somebody that you're talking to that is showing up, that is always there, and it's you, but it's just you from yesterday. So you have to beat that dude from yesterday. That's your competition. Is that guy?
You were talking about winning the day, right? Did you talk about winning the day recently? You brought that up to me, and I've heard that a couple places as well recently, and I thought, damn, unfortunately, that's like as simple as it is, right? Because even in AA, they will talk about like the only day is today or stuff like that. Like that's worry about anything else. So if you just the people will say like I'm not drinking today, and that's a good thing. Like they're like, I'm just choosing not to do it today. And it's like the same thing. Then I'm choosing not to do it today, is what which is
but that could turn into, I chose not to do it today. And now it's 5 years later, like
That's exactly what happens. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Huh. It's simple as that.
Simple as that.
Yeah. How can you beat yourself every day? You don't sometimes, and then you just learn from it, right?
You don't have to necessarily beat yourself, I would say you just have to make incremental improvements in something, even if it's something as simple as like I said, you just walked around the block. Even if it's something as simple as like, I got that one thing done that I've been dying to do, which was change out the bird feeders or something.
Yeah.
You can win the day without it. That's why I said make the bed. Like that's the easiest thing, dumbest thing you could think of, but there's a domino effect in that type of shit.
I hate making the bed. Jenny makes the bed. I don't make the bed.
There you go. You could maybe do it together.
Sometimes.
It depends. Yeah, you're right. I
should actually, though. You know what? We should just do it together because we end up being up at the same time. And I hate it. I don't know why. I like sit there and like I'm pouting while I'm doing it. I like don't like it, and that's ridiculous.
It's an easy win, dude. I mean, that's it.
Baby.
Easy win.
Hold on, I want to pull something up that she sent me. Or no, yeah, I think Jenny sent it to me. I want to, she sent me this little link. I'll just have to send it to your phone. Sure. Because it says like, do you read like self-help books, type of stuff, personal development, you want to call it? Self-help sounds,
Of course, mate.
People don't like it. What'd you say?
Of course I read tons
of course, mate. So it was kind of a loaded question. Oh, Jenny just bought a spin bike, dude, for the house. We got a killer deal from her spin class, 400 beans for these things. It's like sharp as tack. All right. It says how to read a self-help book in 90 minutes.
Oh,
Darius Foraux, Foraux. And do you use the Pocket app, by the way? That thing's awesome. You just pocket like any web page, and some of the web pages, it's able to read it back to you. So you can kick the web page over there and then put your headphones in, and it'll talk you the page through. Yeah. Not every page is able to be read, but you can. And so you can be like, oh, I want to read this article. Boom. It just tells it to you.
it's an app.
Yeah, it's an app. But so yeah, I read this today, and it tells you how to break it down. You know, it's like you read, you know, for only like 45 minutes, but like you prep before and you look at the table of contents and see what you really want to learn from it. And you pick out like those 4 things, knock it out. And then when you're done with that, then you like write the recap down. So you write like a little book report on it, whether it could be just one thing you learned, but it could be whatever. And then you're done. And it takes like, I think it said it takes 90 minutes to do that, like a book.
The whole thing.
Yeah. And he said a lot of books in that genre, there's a lot of filler because they're just trying to get a few points across, sometimes 5, 10, 3,
100%. Yeah.
And, we've been there, right? Because you start reading stuff and doom, 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 doom. You can knock it out and then you sit on things. And I thought that was great. I think we all probably do that, but it was cool to see the little system that she laid out, or I think laid out.
Yeah, I would love
cool
to speed read in general, man. That'd be awesome.
What's that?
Speed read. Or like do something like that in general.
That was how Tim Ferriss started his whole thing, right? Speed reading when he was at Yale. He started speed reading classes.
I mean, that
got him into that brain quicken stuff.
Yeah, there's got to be some stuff like that I gotta check out. I want to get into like more meditation stuff too, a little bit more of that type of thing. Like I've been doing a lot of breath work. Like I really try to do breath work. I'll put myself in super stressful situations. Like here's my gym routine, right? I'll go to the gym. I run a 2K a day every time I go, no matter what. So 2K a day. Then I'll walk before, after, stretch like I told you, all that jazz. Then I hit the kettlebells and I'll do the 2 and the 5 or whatever, like I was saying. And then after that, or whatever I'm doing, it doesn't matter what I'm doing at the gym. The last thing that I do is I go to the hot tub and I sit in the hot tub for 10 minutes. Then I go to the steam room and I sit in the steam room for 10 minutes. And the steam room is like no fucking joke. Like you can't breathe in there. And like you can't see, you know? And it's like kind of small and like cramped, and it's got a little claustrophobia going. It's kind of nasty a little bit too, because everyone's kind of like in their butt naked with, sweating their asses off. And I'm sitting in there, dude, and I just worked my ass off, dude. You know, I ran, I've done kettlebells, I've done all this shit. I jacked my body heat sitting in a hot tub at 120 or whatever it is.
Yeah, sure.
And now I'm going to go sit in a steam room. You know, my heart rate is okay. It's not crazy good or bad. So that's cool. And I know my body heat's got to be through the fucking roof.
Yeah.
Sitting in there and I have 10 minutes to survive, and dude, every ounce of my body just wants to get up and walk out the door. No one's keeping me here. I'm not a prisoner. Just get the fuck up and walk out if you're not happy and you're not into this. But dude, I sit there and I force myself. I'm like, stop looking at your watch. Stop looking at the timer. Start humming. Like I'll hum, because there's good, like, you know, like a chorus effect in there, you know, like reverb. And, you know, I'll do just like things to try to get me through it. But I just love that game where your mind is like trying to convince you no one's watching. No one's going to say anything. No one's going to judge you for walking out right now. And there's times I listen and I walk out. And then there's other times when I'm like, shut the fuck up. We're staying here for 10 minutes.
Totally.
Yeah.
Why is that guy there? Why is that guy there protecting you from something? Right.
It's your mind. It doesn't like to be challenged. It doesn't like that uncomfortable change. Your body and your mind just want to be what it wants to be. It doesn't want to.
Crazy, right? It's so crazy that there's this internal force, truly
sabotaging you,
I suppose. Well,
comfort.
Yeah, because we learn that there's these things that we can do to maybe make us feel better, make us live longer, make life maybe not be so hard, mentally stressful. And so
that's all okay.
Yeah, no, but that's what they're saying. Like that's you know, we find out through these tests that our bodies can feel better if we do these things, but it's counterintuitive to how our body what the hell? Like, why is that the game? Why is that the game?
It's because it's like it's like one of those things where it filters out the weak, you know. You have to be mentally strong. You have to be physically, tough enough to handle that uncomfortable, because your body's going to be like, dude, you're heating up. We have to turn on the sweat, engines in order to cool you down. I'm pouring sweat. Your body's telling you get the fuck out. Your mind's telling you get the
You're
fuck
like,
out.
oh my God, I can't breathe. I can't breathe. You know what I mean?
But you know what? The people that can get through that type of stuff, those are the guys that I want shoulder to shoulder with me, or just people that I want shoulder to shoulder with me when the shit's going down, or when we're doing some fun shit, or when you need them.
Like when the pool is ice cold and they jump in.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, we're jumping in, and then you go in, and you want them to come in. You know what I mean? I go in because Payne, he's not cold. I'm cold, but I'm going in, baby. I'm going in. He makes me go first every time, and I'm like, I'm going in. Dude. We go every night. It's awesome. Even though it's 105 here, the pool is finally getting warm. But at night, when we go between 7 and 8, it's dark. Sometimes we'll be out there at 8:30, and he loves it. But it's chilly out, like actually, and so I get to do that multiple times a night, or multiple times a week, jumping into a cold pool. That's character building.
No, it's more than that. There's like physiological changes that happen and shit. That's one of the things that Ben Greenfield will teach you about. If you go down that rabbit hole, he'll explain to you about heat shock proteins and cold shock proteins and how they are good for recovery and all that shit. So that's something I think everyone should look into. That's why I do the heat thing. That's why I do the heat shock protein. And it works like a charm, dude.
Have you done those cryo places yet?
Yeah. That's a cold shock protein thing.
Yeah, you've done that?
Oh, I've not done that, no. But I've been to a place that has it, because when I went to go do the float tank, it's kind of like they have all of that.
Dude, it's funny because now Jenny and I have been wanting to do like a what's it called? Like oxygen bar sounds attractive to us.
Yeah, they had one of those there too.
Yeah, you feel like where you're going to do something that's going to increase your health, right? Mm-hmm. Think about that back in like whatever years those were with like Roosevelt, and Roosevelt put those. Yeah, of course. Roosevelt put like, those, or that during that time they had like those salt bath, like spa places that people.
Yeah. Magnesium, baby.
Yeah. Like up in frickin', the Dells, and it was like, health retreats, but people thought they were crazy, to go there.
Dude.
People like want that stuff back.
That's, you know what, man? I honestly think that's the thing. Like, I wanted to do something where I opened up a float tank facility.
Yeah.
Like kind of everything, sell on it shit. Sell, like you said, like classes or, help or something like that, for the mental aspect as well, and guidance and stuff. But also have, like you said, like an oxygen bar in there, even one of those IV things where you can do like a full detox or like, a hydration thing or, whatever. Just have a bunch of these type of things. Have a cryotherapy chamber in there or two, float tanks and a little bit of everything, and just offer, like you said, like almost like an ability to do like a retreat.
Yeah, to do like a retreat. I mean, that's what's going on here. It's a drip. Cryo World Drip and Spa. Like the drip is, I guess, is the IV therapy that they're doing.
There you go.
That's really interesting, man. I like what you were saying about having a place that does that. Oh, buddy, check out this place real quick. I'm gonna probably let you go here in a minute because now we're just farting around, but
it's all good, dude. This is the gold right here.
Yeah. So look at this place. I found. This is really cool. Dom, it's like Dom something, and then we can get off a Dom life.
Dom
here, right?
The wellness market.
Yeah, and so these guys, which I would love to get to like a website here.
Oh, that's it. That's exactly what I had in my mind.
So this is like, I don't know if you have to be like I don't know if you have to be like a cannabis card holder or something to go to this, but it's like a hangout, right? So here's the actual site. So you can hang out there. You can like, I think, watch movies. You can get, pre-rolls. And well, this is really not what I thought
you were thinking of, but no, I gotcha.
It's just
There, that's a good picture. That space right there, like there's a bunch of different oils and stuff. I bet. And
Yeah, but that's just not what I was looking for. Like I was looking for, yeah. Anyway,
here, you know what you should do is search it on Google
this is it.
Maps.
This is it. And so what it says though is like you can just hang out here. It's kind of like you can get coffee, and but I think it's, where paradise and cannabis meet. That's kind of funny.
Here, go
Um,
to Google Maps.
okay, one second though, real quick. I just want you to see. We offer. Oh well. Okay, I'll go to Google Maps.
It'll be better than what
Oh
you're
yeah,
trying to show me.
America, and it says you can get an organic meal, order your cannabis, shop a boutique, have a meeting, get a massage, do yoga, see a comedy act on the same day.
Exactly.
So it's like
And
this
that's it.
community space. It's the same exact stuff, I've been thinking about as well. It's like, can't you have a place like that? I've been thinking
That's
about this
exactly
since
it.
like just after high school when it was like, why aren't there hotels? Why doesn't like a hotel or an apartment complex? I guess it'd be a hotel because you would want a bathroom. Um, Let kids really rent rooms out, but have the rooms not bedrooms, have them places they would do gaming. So then they could go get out
Whatever.
of the house and have a private space where they would sneak their own joints and their own alcohol in probably, but that they would have like little places to do that. They don't want to go to someone's house. They want to just hang. So then
Yeah.
you could get like a hotel room, but you wouldn't spend the night. It's not something you would spend the night at, you know?
It's like a little studio.
It's like a little karaoke, yeah, how they do karaoke now, but they have private rooms.
Yep.
Don't do karaoke private rooms. Do gaming.
I like it.
People would go. People would
I
totally
think
go.
that they do have some shit like that, but it's a lot bigger. I don't think it's as small or like private, like you were saying. I think it's a little bit bigger, like maybe
Oh,
like groups of 20, or
like it would
stuff
look
like
like an
that.
arcade, but then you just hang out by one station, but not like 75 games, like maybe 20.
Well, instead of an arcade, what they do is they LAN up all their computers together around a big table, and it'll be like 10 on 10.
Oh, I have seen that. When they do
Hmm.
stuff like that. I was thinking more like I wasn't thinking using the computer. I was thinking
Just
about more.
games, yeah.
Yeah,
But you
yeah.
could do the same thing with
You can
PlayStation
do the
and
same thing either
Xbox now.
way. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like interesting, but the
Yeah,
super gamers they use the computer, huh?
yeah.
They're not playing like I guess Xbox. That's like the latest thing or whatever, right?
Nope. Everybody plays off of PCs. Not even Macs. It's PCs that are straight geared towards gaming, and that's
Wow.
what they put all the professional gaming stuff on and all that jazz.
So that's keeps that side in business. It seems.
It's huge. I'm
That
telling you,
makes
gaming
sense.
is huge right now,
Yeah, but
especially with all this stuff like with Fortnite and Ninja and streaming and all that jazz, dude.
I haven't
Huge.
even looked into that stuff, man. I just keep hearing. I started hearing about Fortnite. Mikna says people will be at work with it streaming constantly because it's like this thing. And I'm like, they just listen to that. And he's like, yeah, like it's a constant show, like a constant live thing with like
Yeah.
announcers, like ESPN or something.
Well, no, you could just go out on Twitch and you could follow whoever you want to. Like, let's say you were a big Fortnite guy, I could just follow you, and you'd be playing it whenever, and I'd get your schedule, and then I could just watch you live playing Fortnite, and then it shows like a picture in picture thing, like where I see you playing physically, and then I see the actual screen and what you're doing, in the game as well.
Why would I want to do that? Because you're really good at it.
Well, you're really good. Your personality's awesome too, so
Oh,
people
they
think you're
talk
funny or
like
engaging
a
and stuff.
podcast, right?
Yeah, with something added. And the number one dude, his name is Ninja. Dude, he lives like in Illinois, like right by where we grew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he plays like 11 hours a day
What?
every day.
That's
He also
crazy.
makes $300,000 a month
A month. So you
from
got to go to
just that.
Twitch though to like see that.
What's that?
You have to watch that stuff on Twitch. Is that what you're saying? Is like Twitch the platform?
Twitch, YouTube Live, and Facebook. I think they stream on all three now. Usually.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Did you ever get into that stuff?
I don't stream per se, but I play the shit out of video games.
Dude, how old is Ninja?
Probably a little bit younger than us.
Oh, I see him now.
Yeah,
Weird.
Ninja. Blue hair.
Yeah, I got to check this stuff out.
Yeah, dude. He lives in like Barrington or some shit.
Of course he does.
Well, he used to live in some fucking shack in the city, but then when he hit it big, they were funneling him money, dude. Like some of the articles about like his life and like what he does day to day and stuff are mind blowing.
Really?
Mind blowing. The guy's like super fucking regimented down to like the minute, you know? Yeah.
Wow.
You wouldn't think that, but the dude is like super regimented.
Wow. All right. I'm gonna have to check this kid out. He looks like he's got a flair. Got a little flair to him.
I'm telling you, man, there's 100 guys like that, thousands of people like that now. Thousands. It's nuts. It's huge.
So
I think
then
it's bigger than anything.
The next thing I want to look at is esports because
I've been to the facility at the Luxor.
What the hell is it? That's just like people playing Madden against each other.
Yeah, and there's a stadium.
There's a stadium.
So you sit in the stadium, and then all the guys that are playing sit up on the stage, and then they show you the screens up on the huge, gigantic, board of everybody's little screen and what they're doing. Yeah. And people are fucking wild. It's like on ESPN every day.
I don't watch ESPN ever. Can't even tell you the last time I saw it.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, it's like they have a huge stadium, dude.
That's so, that's funny because why they figured, hey, you're sitting in Cowboy Stadium and you're not even watching the game. You're watching the screen. So what does it matter if we even have guys here? Just watch the screen.
And honestly, these guys are like regular dudes.
You catch yourself doing that. How many times you're at the baseball game and you're watching the damn screen because it's enlarged and you're just like, you're not even looking at the stupid field.
And you're there. Yeah.
Yeah. And you're there.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this is exactly that, probably even more so because the guys are just sitting there just doing this the whole time.
It's unbelievable.
They're not moving. The guys that are playing are not moving.
That's what I mean. You're not looking at, there's nothing there. There's like you're watching a game with no field. It's like awesome.
They high five each other and shit when they win and put down their headsets and shake hands and stuff.
They make money doing this. This is like a sport. I mean, they make money doing that stuff.
Oh, yeah. Lots of money. That's why I said this dude makes more money than actors and sports people.
That's funny. I feel like I haven't followed a lot of that stuff when it came out.
It's just wild. It's another form of media.
Yeah, that's true. It's gonna be breakout. So I went to get a phone tonight, and I didn't buy it because they were gonna charge me a $40 upgrade. I was gonna buy a brand new Apple phone.
Sure.
But I was like, wait.
Did you go to the store, Apple store, or did you go to your carrier?
Nah, I went to the carrier. I'm going to go to the store instead, but I was near the carrier, and I sat there for a good half hour, kind of Googling and debating on phones because I was like, well, whatever, the 8 or the 10, and then this and that. And I realized that the 8, I would have got an 8, but it doesn't have portrait mode on the camera.
Yes.
I really like that. So the 8 didn't have that. And I was like, well, now I got to get the 10. And then, but then after all that, I said, okay, let's lock it up. And he's like, all right, I forgot to tell you, or I wanted to tell you about the $40 fee, just blah, 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 blah. And I was like,
no, I'm not paying it.
What did he say? I said. And he's just like, no. And I was like, all right, I got to go, man. Sorry to waste your time. He's like, all right. And I just walked out. I mean, he wasn't like,
most people will waive that shit.
No. What?
Most people will waive that.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. I mean, he should have said, but I didn't ask him. I was kind of like, he was being so honest with me about a lot of stuff. Like he even said, he's like, the camera's different, this and that. And I was like, okay. I was like, what's different about the camera? He's like, I mean, it's just minuscule. I wouldn't even know. It's like so tiny. And then when I Googled it and I found out, like, that was a big deal. I was like,
he probably doesn't use portrait mode.
Yeah, maybe, but you're right. And I was like, if you don't know, he's like, well, we can Google it together if you want right now. And I was like, no, it's fine.
It is. It's a deal breaker for me. I wouldn't get a phone that didn't have that again.
No, for sure. And
there's so much more shit though than even that. I mean, like, if you get one of the newer iPhones like the X or like the XS or whatever the other one, XC or whatever it is, all of those have facial detection. All of them have, like I was saying, like full capabilities for augmented reality. Like there's a dedicated chip for that shit in those phones.
That's exactly what it said, man. That's what I wanted to tell you, actually. Thank you for that. And then it was saying how it has that, and also now the apps, right, are coming out. There's going to be starting being released into the apps. And I just thought that's what I brought up, augmented reality. And I thought, as much as people probably will like virtual reality better, maybe this is going to be a stage, and it's going to be a pretty good, healthy stage, I think. And then I think it'll just help the next evolution, which I think virtual reality, right?
Well, I think it's a convergence. So I think that virtual reality will be like a way to travel or a way to, go to a baseball game, or a way to go do something that you can't do immediately in your vicinity, let's say.
Mhm.
Augmented reality is what you'll use when you're going to
Daily?
work, or when you go to the store, or when you go to, where you actually physically go. And then, you'll have both.
Dude, is that like I could literally drive my car down the highway with like glasses on and I could make everything look like I live in a Smurf world?
Sure. I mean, like, yeah, you could change, all
You
the
know what I'm
houses
saying?
look like Smurf houses. You could change all the, the car next to you, that you could look in there to be Papa Smurf, instead of the dude,
Seriously, that would be intense.
whatever you want. It's like one of those deals.
Oh man, dude, this has been crazy. I'm tired. I got to go to bed. I know you are
Yeah.
too, but I can't. I just got to say, the whole Ouija board thing, man. I'm gonna be like scared to sleep tonight. I swear to God. Like, actually, I wish I could could have taken. I wish I was ready to take a picture of that smile that you just gave right here, because it was one of a kind.
Yeah, man.
I'm like looking for the picture button. I was like, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Oh well.
I'm telling you, dude, we got to go on a ghost adventure together. That's the key.
Oh man, I don't know about that. I know Jenny would be all about it. Down in St. Louis, where my cousins are from, there's multiple haunted houses, like notorious ones.
Mm-hmm.
They would show them to me as we would drive by all the time. And my one cousin was really into it, and so at a young age, I was scared about it early, and it's deep in there. You know what I mean?
So let's go for it then. That's even more of a reason.
Oh fucking A. I tried to take Jenny to a haunted house, and she wouldn't even open her eyes the entire time. Yeah,
we can do way better than that, because the creep factor is what it's all about.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah, let's do it, man.
Well, all right, let's look at
Ragnar,
dude. Yeah, for sure. I know we have other trips, but like, I don't know when we're gonna do them, so we need to talk about that.
It's okay too. We'll figure that out. That's not a problem. It's just, as long as we keep brainstorming and there's ideas flowing out there, things will stick and things will not stick. And we might not do the white sands thing for 5 years, let's say, but it'll happen. You'll see.
No. That's very well played. I appreciate that. That was a good point. Yeah. Sometimes you feel like that first idea has to happen right away.
Nope, it's just a good one. So you just keep throwing out ideas. Ragnar, Spartans, trips to the national parks, ghost adventures, all of it. Whatever.
I'm looking at the dates. So November 1st and 2nd, Friday, Saturday. Interesting. All right.
That's a weekend.
All right, TJ. Tony Jones.
Yeah. I'll do some homework too and check out what you were saying dates wise and stuff, and then I'll check out that website.
All right, dude.
But yeah, let's do this again soon, man, for sure.
It's late by you. What do we got? Yeah, it's 2 a.m.
That's all right. This isn't probably normal time I go to bed.
All right. Well, have a great 4th, dude. You going to be around the house? What are you doing?
Yep, I'm going to go get Dakota tomorrow. I'm going to hang out with her, and then we'll have that. And then Sunday, actually, I'm going to Joliet Prison. Ooh. They're letting me in there, and they're going to let me take pictures and show me around and everything.
For what? Why would they do that?
They've been opening it up to people to make some money, or to side hustle some. I had to pay $50.
You called them and said, for $50 I'm coming in, or they whatever. I want to come in, and they said for $50.
Well, they said here there's like four different times that you can pick from that it's open. So pick one of these 4 times.
It's like tour?
Yeah. So this guy, the security guards will walk you around. The old security guards will walk you around, because the place is closed now. But it's like where they had the Blues Brothers and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Old Joliet Prison, baby.
Oh, a lot of black and whites coming.
Yeah, and I'm going to bust out that ghost app.
Oh. Well, I can't wait to hear how that goes.
Yeah, that's Sunday. So I'm going to do that Sunday, and then, yeah, let's touch base after that, and I'll let you know.
How was fishing?
It was rough. It was the guy that I went, he was crushing it, but I only caught like 3. It was a little bit of a shit show, because everybody was getting off of work for the 4th already. Everybody was out on the water because it was super nice out. Ooh. And it was getting a little washy machiney, where you like the waves are going every direction. There's no rhyme or reason, anything. Yeah, just throwing you around like crazy.
Where were you? What lake?
Delavan.
Oh yeah.
Like right next to Geneva.
Yeah, I've been there.
Yeah, I love that place. That's my spot. I got a season pass on that joint. That's my home lake.
What was it? Bass fishing?
Yeah, that's all we really fish for is bass. If we catch anything else, it's just bonus fish.
Because they don't have like tournaments where it's like, well, probably crappie tournaments or some stuff.
They can't because their keeper limits are different than anywhere else. You can only keep one bass or like one northern or one of this or one of that. So you can't really have a tournament there unless you do it on paper or something or measure them by length or something weird. So people avoid that place like the plague. That's why I love that spot because it doesn't get hammered.
You can keep fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good to know.
Yeah, dude. Love it though. That's another one, man, where you get out there, especially when you're by yourself, dude. You're out there on the boat, on the lake, no one's with you. There's nobody to talk to. Like, man, I dare anybody to sit alone with their thoughts for 5 minutes without any distractions. No phones, no TVs, in a blank room, nothing on the walls, no windows to look out, nothing. Just sit there 5 minutes alone with your thoughts.
Yeah.
Tell me what happens.
I don't know.
Right. No one can do it. It's like super, super hard for everybody to do.
Yeah.
That's why I love that float tank thing, dude, because you're sitting in there and you got to do it for half an hour, but it feels like 2 months.
I mean, I've been meditating a long time. I'm pretty good at keeping
sitting still.
Even keel, but that's also with my eyes closed in a controlled environment. I usually have sunglasses on. I'm in a dark room. I have headphones on. You know what I mean? I'm not being stimulated where if I was like, even fishing, like I love it. But yeah, that's when I think then you get in. Then you're like, okay, let's make this thing dance. Like, what am I feeling? It's bumping along the bottom already. All right. Or what's in there, you know?
Right.
Like that.
But then eventually you get on autopilot with that and things start to creep into your mind like, I made a mistake 10 years ago. If I didn't make that mistake, what would my life look like now? You know, and then you start to try to envision that. And I create a whole nother scenario from that, you know, that split. And I say, you know, like this would have probably happened. I don't know. But it's just right. It's just running scenarios through your mind of like past things. You do it all the time. Like when you get in a fight, right? After the fight, it takes place for like 30 seconds, right? And you guys are usually like just like hugging and shit. And then you like get on the ground, somebody punches somebody real quick, and then the fight's over. It's like 30 seconds. And then for the next fucking week, you just go through that fight in your mind. I should have fucking thrown the right. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you do that with like everything in life, and shit will probably just, but in the end, after that whole fighting thing, when you're like, I should have ducked, I should have grabbed them, and then I would have flipped them. But after you go through all those scenarios, in the end, you just realize I probably shouldn't have gotten in that fucking fight. That was just stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what you have to work through is all of that shit.
You just got me. We were downtown one time. It was like me and a couple of buddies from high school that you definitely know. Well, Brad Toms, Joe Mazza.
Yep, of course.
I don't know who else was with us, but we were at like down at Division and Rush, and we came out of Mother's.
Oh yeah.
And this car drove by and like looked at us or something. I don't know. And there's snow all over the ground. It was 2 a.m. We're hammered.
Nice.
And then we're walking to our car, parked like 2 blocks away. And then all of a sudden we're walking down the street, and I think we were on the one that goes north and south actually. So
sure.
I think it's Rush, and we turn the corner right there, and then the car comes by, and then it turns the corner in front of us, and then it stops, and it's like a little short car, and then people start getting out, and from what I can remember, I think it was a bunch of white guys actually. And
you didn't know them?
No, we didn't know them.
Yeah.
And so then we get in. All of a sudden, they just started talking stuff. I don't know. I don't think anybody yelled anything at them. They started talking smack, and it happened so fast. But all of a sudden, there was like a fight. And they were coming after Joe. And so I'm on the side of the car, and they're about to get out. Like the guy's trying to get out of the car. So I'm like, okay, well, if they can't get out of the car and there's only one guy out of the car right now, we have the advantage. So I like start pinning the passenger door shut, and the guy's trying to get out. He's trying to get out, and like people are fighting, and then he goes to the other side. So I go to the other side, and I'm like holding the door shut. He can't get out. He can't get out. Get out. So he scoots through again, and he got out. And next thing I remember, I look, and there's this like group of people in front of me, and like there's a street lamp here. So like the street lamp, see really faces, but I see, and I don't know if I'm making it up, man. It's one of those remembering of a remembering of a remembering. Yep. And this thing come down, like this hand come down. Well, everybody ran, and we get a call from Joe. They stabbed him. They stabbed him like 4 or 5 times. and like behind the leg and like here, like almost got his heart. It was really bad. And so literally what we did, he was in my car bleeding, and we took him to the hospital and like dropped him off. Like we walked,
like you see in a movie.
Yeah. And then we left. And then he was in the hospital, and then in the city, and I went and saw him. I think my sister went and saw him. And then like, that was like all I did. But that was, I don't even believe that even happened. That was really weird.
Yeah, it's one of those crazy things that happens in the past that you would think about when you were out on the water by yourself.
And you're thinking, well, I could have done more. You were talking about like fighting. And so that you replay that like, oh my God, what else could I have done that didn't happen? Did I let the guy out of the car? Was it the guy I let out of the car that did that?
Yep.
Where did all those people? It was like we turned the corner and there were 20 people. There was only this car, and then there were 20 people, and there were 4 of us, and I don't even know what happened.
Yeah,
like, I can't even remember.
Yeah. See, that's the type of stuff that I love, though, because there's a reason why you remember that moment in time and you're rehashing it constantly. There's a reason.
Yeah.
And when you figure that out, it's almost like checking the boxes or letting go of some of that weight. You know, that weight that I said that was crushing me?
Yeah.
Every time you figure one of those out, you get lighter. You know, you get more, you get rid of that baggage, the bullshit, the past, you know?
Yeah.
That's me.
Oh, I probably feel like, like maybe I let him down or something or what, but I was so scared. I don't fight, man. I run.
I would have been freaking out too. Trust me, dude. If somebody got stabbed like that, and then you're thinking to yourself too, like, are they gonna fucking point the fingers at me, or are they gonna do something crazy? I gotta plug my computer in.
That's all right. I'm gonna run, dude. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah. Do your thing. We'll catch up again, like I said, next week. But yeah, dude, this was a blast.
Dude, let's just keep it going. I'm gonna put a little I think YouTube channel up and just post this, and we'll just have our little channel. We'll just post our videos.
I love it, man. And then we'll watch a couple of them. We'll rehash some of them. We'll do some fun stuff. Maybe we could do some cool interactive things too, where maybe 1 month we could tailor it to each month to where we wear different shit or do different things or share different things too. Like, hey, what was the coolest thing that happened to you during the week, or what was the coolest thing that you got, or what was the coolest thing, stuff like that. We can add some cool little like things that we do every single time too. It'll be a lot of fun.
All right, I'm doing this then. I'll start with this. I'll start with this book that Jenny got me for Father's Day. I'm excited to read. It's called The Anatomy of a Song by Mark Myers. I can't wait to read it, but it says the oral history of 45 iconic hits that changed rock, R&B, and pop. This is going to be so cool, dude. I started flipping through it, like, from Loretta Lynn to the Righteous Brothers, just these awesome songs. And it talks about the song itself, and shows like who wrote it. And maybe it wasn't even the person who sang it, truthfully. So, like, the Stones are in it too. And this is going to be so neat, right? This is going to be so
that's the type of stuff that you can, again, apply to any, aspect of life too. When you figure out what the secret is of that book.
Yeah.
That's that type of stuff that you can apply to anything.
Dude, you're so right. Like how they talk about how they write a song, and then you take that process and apply it to
process. Yes.
That's smart, Sonny. That's smart, brother.
The process.
Right, well, I'm going to go get my 3.5 hours of sleep. So I'll see you in the morning. Take care, dude.
Of course, man. I'll see you next time.
All right. Bye.